Let's go live, man. If we are not live, let's go live. Hi guys, can you see me? Can you hear me? Please do let me know in the chat. Okay. I think I'm live now. Good afternoon Paridhi. Good afternoon Niharika. Nitin Chanakya Gundam. Good afternoon. Okay. I think I'm live now. So we have a lot of people. Good afternoon to all of you. Ayush Dam, Aman, Nitin Chanakya Gundam, Aman Anand, Niharika, Nishan, Swaroop, Akkoji, Venkat Saikaran. Good afternoon to all of you. We'll be starting the session very shortly. This will be a DI marathon. Normally when we do the DIs, the marathons, we don't use this big screen, we do it on the small screen. But like many of you know, I like teaching on the big screen. I feel I can teach better. I think I can, when I'm saying, okay, this in this set or in this particular combination, it becomes easy because I can show it clearly what I'm saying. So that is why I'm trying to try this. This is the first time I'm trying it. So if there are any issues, please do take it like, please be like kind. We'll try to fix it next time because this is the first time we are doing it. There might be some issues. We are not so sure. But this will be a DI marathon. We are looking for around 4 hours. We'll be solving 6 or 7 sets depending on the time. We have prepared for 7 sets. But if after 6 sets the time is too long or something, we'll stop there. That is basically the plan. This will not be on cracku.in/live because I feel that if we are actually streaming on 2 different like platforms, it is not ideal. So I wanted to just focus on YouTube. So that is what we are looking to do. So let us get started without further delay. I will set a target for today, the number of likes. I want to get 400 likes before the stream ends. So please do like the stream. If you have just joined, you know that we are putting in a lot of effort. I know. So, and we are also human. When I see the number of likes that are there for a particular stream, I feel that, okay, whatever we are doing is benefiting a lot of people. So I get some more energy to actually do a good job the next time. If say the number of likes is low, on some level I feel slightly demotivated. In an ideal situation that shouldn't matter, but all of us are humans. So these kind of heuristics matter to us, matter to my team, it also matters to me. So please do like the stream, it motivates me to work harder next time. So let us look at the first question. Before I go to the first question, I wanted to definitely tell you about the PDFs that we have released. These PDFs are being downloaded every single day by thousands of students. We have created a bunch of very useful PDFs. These PDFs, this is for the quant section. If you're looking at the different types of PDFs, we have organized like every topic, we have put 30 to 50 questions in each topic. For example, in quant, you'll find averages, arithmetic, number systems, time and work, cat speed, time and distance. All of these types of questions, for each one of them, we have put a PDF and you can download the PDFs over here. If you're looking for this page, you have to search on our site, that also is possible. Or you can just Google search Cracku cat quant questions. Once you search for this, you will go to that page where you will have this bunch of PDFs. In the last 1 month, it is a very good thing that you can do where you actually download these PDFs and solve those questions and solve as many as you can. The last 1 month to CAT has to be focused on solving as many questions as you can. That is the only reason we have actually created these PDFs. So definitely do check them out. We have PDFs for quant, we have PDFs for DILR. You have to just Google search Cracku cat DILR questions. And we also have VRC. These PDFs are being downloaded. I don't want to like exaggerate or scare or make people anxious. These are being downloaded in the thousands every single day. So they are very, very useful. And we also get a lot of requests that people are finding them very helpful. Definitely do check it out. It will help you quite a lot. And in addition to it, in general, the last 1 month, I want you to solve as many questions as you can. Solving makes you more confident and you'll perform better on the day of the examination. Having said that, let us look at the first set. The first set I would say is slightly on the easier side. This is basically it. I don't know where to stand. I'll probably go to the side so that you can solve it without any difficulty. I'll just be to the side. So if you need any help or if you have any doubts, you can always ask me. I hope it is visible to you, the set. And she's saying nice t-shirt, sir. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Mikkel Tal. The Asher is saying people are trying to figure out how to get more percentile than me. You won't believe the number of people who actually tell me that they want to beat me this year, and it actually makes me very proud. I actually feel good. I feel that if on some level I'm motivating students to really push themselves to their limits, that is actually a good thing. And you should always aim for higher. And if there is somebody you know who has done well, you also feel confident that you can actually do it. So there is no reason as to why any student who is putting in effort and is very serious and is also confident should not beat me. I think it is definitely possible, and I'll be very happy if somebody actually scores more than me. I'm genuinely, if he's a Cracku student, I'll be even more happy. And there are some people in my office who I hope will actually beat me this year. There are like some content managers who are doing extremely well in mocks. So let us see. One of the 100 percentilers in Cracku might not even be me. They might be some of the students who are working with us. Let us see how that turns out. Krish Pasar is saying, sir, is it okay to solve the quant rush instead of the PDFs? I would say whatever is making you comfortable, you should do it, man. If you are able to solve questions, that is what matters. Whether you're solving questions from PDFs or whether you're solving questions from Contrast, to be honest, doesn't really matter much. The reason we gave these PDFs is because we felt it will be easier for students to solve questions from PDFs because they're used to solving questions from PDFs. At the end of the day, you have to solve questions. Where you're solving questions, to be honest, for me, it doesn't matter. Anish Agrawal, sir, at this point, what topic should we focus on? In quant, you should focus on arithmetic. After arithmetic, focus on algebra and geometry. You should also ensure that you cover the syllabus for quant. That is, if a very simple question comes from any topic, you should be able to answer it. That is how it should be. In VARC, I would say focus on improving your accuracy in RCs. So try to read a lot. Every day, try to read 5-6 articles. Try to take 1 or 2 sectionals every week, maybe 2-3 sectionals, I think should also be okay. And try to focus on improving the accuracy in RC. With respect to DILR, one thing I would tell you is definitely solve all the previous year's LRDIs. And definitely, if you are looking for what to do for practice, you can download the PDFs for DILR and solve it from there. That also I think is a very good bunch of questions. Rahul Kumar Singh is saying, sir, I'm scoring 75 to 80 in mocks. Is this a good score? Please reply. I think it's a good score, definitely. Try to increase it by another 10-15 marks, then I think it will be a very good score. But as of now, I think 80 marks is definitely a good score. But as always, try to aim higher than wherever you are. So try to get from 80 to 90, which is not difficult. You just need to get 3 to 4 marks more in each section. That is basically in each section, you should get one extra question correct. Aryan Singh is saying, sir, how did you score 63.99 DL in CAT 2024? Did I score 63.99? I don't think I would have scored 63.99. Because DLR is for 60 marks, no? So you can't score 63.99. Or is it for 22 questions? Yeah, 66. Maybe I got scaled up. I didn't solve all the questions in DLR. I got some questions wrong. But I think I got scaled up. I think if I'm not wrong, I got 19 correct, I think. I think I got 57 which got scaled up or something like that. from 200 previous years will help get 99.99. I would actually recommend you to solve the previous year's papers from 2017, 2017. I think that will be even more useful because the pattern of the exam has changed from 2017. So it will be helpful if you solve questions from that time. Anshi is saying, sir, what is our today's target through this live, sir? Basically, I want you to solve all the sets that we are doing. I want to get to, I think we'll be solving 6 LRDA sets. I want you to solve all the LRDA sets. Every set has around say 12 or 12 and a half minutes. Try to solve those sets in that particular time. That I think will be good. Once this is done, there are questions. I'll go to the other side so that you can actually solve these questions. Okay, Ria, I shifted a bit. There are 4 questions in this. Aryan Singh is saying that means you solved 5 sets in DILR. Yeah, man, I solved all the sets in DILR. I don't know, I found that paper to be slightly on the easier side as compared to 2023. And I also got lucky. I think I made some guesses which worked out well. SG Singh, sir, I'm solving 3-4 DLR sets daily. Is it okay or should I increase? I think if you're solving 3-4 sets every day, that should be good enough. Kushal is saying, sir, got the answers. Okay, Kushal, if you got the answers, please do message in the chat. Answers for 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the answers that you got? That will be good. Ananta Krishna is saying, sir, what is the ideal time for LRDA set to solve? I think if you are getting a set correct in 12 to 15 minutes, I think you are definitely doing something good. If you're getting it even before 12 minutes, I think that is exceptional. But in an ideal situation, a good student should try to get sets correct within 12 to 15 minutes. That's correct. Abhishek, Kushal, Akriti. I think Sonima got all of them correct. Okay guys, I'll give another 3 minutes before starting to solve the set. We have 175 people who are watching the stream live. Guys, try to solve it on your own and mark the answers below. Question 1, please. Okay, one sec. I'll give you question 1. This is question 1. At any time, we can only show 3 questions. Okay guys, last couple of minutes before I start solving the set. So if you got the answer correct, then you can maybe take a small break. But if you did not get it correct, try to solve it. You'll feel very good if you actually get it correct. Samyukta is saying, I'm able to get only 1 set correct in mocks when it comes to DLR, and that too with less accuracy. How do I improve, sir? I would say that you have to solve a lot of sets for you to get that confidence. So especially try to solve based on previous year's papers. That should give you the confidence. I'll again take it to the bottom, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys, last 1 minute. Abhishek is saying, sir, what is the difference between active and passive reading? Active and passive reading, you can check with Sayali. She'll be explaining after maybe 1.5 hours. Then she will solve some sets. Then maybe you can ask her these questions. Sagar is saying, respect sir, please make the option to attempt dash cut in sectional form. Okay. I will see, man. I'll check with my team. I'll see if that can be done. M is saying, sir, are 50 questions in quant per day from the PDFs enough? I think if you're solving 50 questions every day, that should be sufficient. The reason I'm recommending you to solve from the Cracku PDFs is because we have categorized them well. We picked many questions which were good in previous year's papers, some questions from Cracku streams, and we put it up. It is a very good amalgamation of questions. That is the reason I was asking you to check out those PDFs. If you're solving 50 questions, that should be more than sufficient. If you're solving 50 every single day. Okay guys, time is up. Let us try to solve this question. So let me first get a sheet out. It will be something like this. So here we are told that there is a third floor of boys hostel in this college. There are 6 rooms, 3 on each side of the corridor. So let us assume that there are 3 rooms here. This is one room. This is the second room. And this is the third room. We have the corridor in the middle and we have 3 rooms here. This is the first room. This is the second room. And this is the third room. 3 rooms at the top, 3 rooms at the bottom. In the middle is this corridor. Then we are told that there is at least one boy living in each room and not more than 3 boys in any of the rooms. Okay, so every room, each of the 6 rooms has at least one boy and no room has more than 3 boys. Total there are 10 boys and there are 6 rooms. So basically there are 4 boys who are extra. Raghav and Raja live together in a room. So if you're looking at the rooms, we have Raghav and Raja who are living in one room. Mukesh lives alone and he lives diagonally opposite to Rakesh. That is, they occupy corner rooms located at opposite ends of the corridor. So we have Mukesh here and Rakesh here. You can even assume that Mukesh is here and Rakesh is here, but that won't matter. You will just get all the cases to be very similar, but mirror images. Amar and Preetham are immediate neighbors of Farhan. So we are told that Aman and Preetham are immediate neighbors of Farhan. So we know that Farhan is in the middle and either Amar and Preetham are on the opposite sides like this. That is, Farhan is in the middle and Amar and Preetham are one side, one on each side, or Farhan is just over here and Amar and Preetham are roommates. Both of these cases are possible. One of these two is actually happening, where either both of them are living in one room or both of them are living on opposite sides of Farhan. Tiku shares the room with Rakesh and Sumit. So with Rakesh we have Tiku and we have Sumit. Now immediately you should figure out that this case of Preetham, Farhan and Amar living in separate rooms should not exist. Because if that is happening, Farhan is living in the middle. To his left is Amar or Preetham. To his right also is Amar or Preetham. But that can't happen over here. You can't have Farhan over here. Because to the right, we already have 3 people in this particular room. That room cannot occupy either Amar or Preetham. Similarly, Farhan cannot be here. Because then Mukesh has to share the room with either Amar or Preetham. That also is not allowed because we are told that Mukesh stays alone. Mukesh is living alone. This would imply that this case doesn't exist. We are only looking at this particular case. So Farhan, Amar and Preetham are living in adjacent rooms in such a way that we have Farhan somewhere over here. We don't know where he is. But either to his right or to his left, we have Amar and Preetham adjacent to him. So these two are living in one room, and adjacent to that is Farhan. This is one basically unit. In addition to it, we are also told that Raghav and Raja are living in a room that also is given to us. Kushal does not live opposite either Preetham or Farhan. So basically the other thing is Kushal, and he is not opposite Farhan or Preetham. Now if you think about it, if you are looking at how this can actually fit, in this setup, we can either have Farhan here, Amar and Preetham here, that is one possibility. In that particular case, where will Kushal be? Kushal will not be here, Kushal will be here. This can be Kushal. Or this will be Amar and Preetham and this will be Farhan. Again, Kushal cannot come here, Kushal will be here. So in this particular case, where Farhan, Amar and Preetham are in this side of the corridor, Kushal will come only over here. Similarly, even if Farhan, Amar and Preetham are on this side, one of Farhan or Amar will be over here and this cannot be Kushal. So Kushal will essentially be here. Just roughly thinking about it, there are only two places for Kushal to be. Kushal will be either over here or Kushal will be over here. It is just something that we should keep at the back of our mind. Next, we are told that Sumit is not the immediate neighbor of either Raghav or Amar. What does this mean? This is Sumit. His immediate neighbor is not Raghav. So this is not Raghav. But remember that Raghav and Raja are roommates. So this will not be Raja. And this is not Amar. Again, Amar and Preetham are roommates. This is not also Preetham. We have just discussed that this cannot be Kushal, because if Kushal is over here, then this side will be Amar, Preetham and Farhan. One of the rooms will be occupied by Farhan and the adjacent room will be occupied by Amar and Preetham. So the person who is opposite Kushal will be either Amar or Farhan, but that is not allowed over here. Therefore, this cannot be Kushal. So who can it be? There is only one possibility for this. The only possibility is that this room has to be occupied by Farhan. So this has to be Farhan. If this is Farhan, who are the neighbors of Farhan? We have just discussed this. It is Amar and Preetham. Now we are left with Raghav, Raja and Kushal. Kushal cannot come here because Kushal is not opposite Farhan. So this has to be Kushal. And therefore this has to be Raghav and Raja. So this is basically the setup. This is the setup of the 10 people. Let us solve the questions that follow. How many people live in Farhan's room? Farhan is living alone. Farhan is living over here. He is living to the side of Rakesh, Tiku, Sumit and Amar and Preetham. What is the difference between the number of people living on both sides of the corridor? Above the corridor, we have 4 people. They are Mukesh, Raghav, Raja and Kushal. Below the corridor, we have 6 people. They are Amar, Preetham, Farhan, Rakesh, Tiku and Sumit. The difference between both of them is 2. How many rooms are single occupied? The number of rooms which are single occupied is Kushal, Mukesh and Farhan. So there are 3 rooms which are single occupied. Exactly 4 boys are needed for a game. In how many different ways can the rooms be selected such that all the boys living in those rooms are part of the game? So we need to select exactly 4 boys. But we need basically entire rooms to be allocated so that the total is adding up to exactly 4. One way to do it is, it can be 3 plus 1. That is, we can select this room of Rakesh, Tiku and Sumit, and we can select one room of either Kushal, Mukesh or Farhan. So that can be done in 3 ways. Or we can do it as 2 plus 2. That is, we can have the rooms of Raghav and Raja and Amar and Pritham. Both of them together is exactly 4. So this can be done in one way. Or we have one final way in which we are having one room where 2 people are there and 2 rooms where 1 people are there. Now the room where 2 people are there can be either Raghav and Raja's, that room, or it can be Amar and Pritham, this room. So that can be selected in 2 ways. And the 2 rooms which have exactly 1 person each has to be 2 rooms of Kushal, Mukesh and Farhan. Out of these 3 guys, we have to pick 2 guys. That can be done in 3 ways. So the total ways is 6 ways. So overall, the total number of ways this can be done, that is selecting some rooms so that the total is exactly 4, is 3 plus 1 plus 6, which will come to equal 10. So the answer for this question is 10 ways. I hope you understood this question. Before going to the next question, let me take a quick pause, look at the chat, and then we'll go to the next question. Please do like the stream, guys. We have 188 people who are watching the stream live. We have 162 likes. The target for today is 400 likes. So we need another 240 likes. Let me give a quick shout out to everybody who got this correct. Supraja saying, why can't we have this on the website so that it will be easy to mark the answers? I know, Supraja, we are just trying it out here. And if it doesn't work out this time, next time we'll do it on the website as usual. It is just that I like teaching on the big screen. I feel on the big screen I'm a better teacher. Somehow I just feel that way. So I wanted to try it this way because for quant, for example, we do it here. For LRDI, it might be tougher, but I just thought we'll try it out once. And if it doesn't work out, we can anyways go back to the original screen. Sir, it says Kushal is not opposite to Farhan or Amar. Can it also mean that Kushal is living with either Farhan or Amar? It can mean that, but we need a total of 10 people. So we have 6 rooms and 10 boys. So we have 4 boys extra. We know that there is one room where 3 people are staying. So that is 2 extra people are taken care of. We also know that Amar and Pritham are living in one room. So that is 3 rooms are taken care of. We also know that Raghav and Raja are in a room. So all of those 4 extra boys are taken care of. 2 are living with Rakesh, Tirku and Sumit. 1 is in the Raghav Raja room. 1 is in the Amar Pritham room. So overall 4 extra boys are taken. So Kushal cannot stay with anybody else because then we will be having one room which is empty. The Ashley is saying, sir, I got 3 out of 4 questions correct. Arrangement was wrong. Can you discuss the arrangement of the positions? I hope everybody understood it now. If you still have any doubts, you can. Sir, in these type of questions, which side of the corridor we start is important? I don't think so, man. I don't think it is important because even if it is the mirror image, you will get the exact same answer. Ansi is saying question 4 once again. So basically what we are required to do is, there are exactly 4 boys are needed for this game. Okay. Oh, I think I messed up. Okay, okay. I don't know how to erase this, man. It's okay. Okay. So exactly 4 boys are needed for a game. In how many different ways can the rooms be selected such that all the boys living in those rooms are part of the game? What we do know is, what are the rooms like? We have one room with Amar and Prem. This has 2 people. We have another room with Raghav and Raja. We have one room with 3 people, Tiku, Sumit and maybe Rakesh. And we have 3 rooms with 1 guy each. This is Kushal, this is Farhan and one more guy, I forgot his name, maybe Mukesh. Okay. Now we need to get exactly 4 people in this. What is the different ways in which we can do it? We can either have, this is 3, this is 2. We can either have 2 plus 2. That can be done in one way. What do you mean by 2 plus 2? We are having the room with Amar and Prem and we are having the room with Raghav and Raja. We are selecting these 2 rooms, so we have 4 people. That is one way. Another way is 3 plus 1. This has 3 ways. We are basically saying that we'll select this room of the three guys, Tiku, Sumit, and I think Rakesh. We have three people. We need just one more guy. That one guy can be selected from these three rooms. It can be either Kushal or Farhan or Mukesh. So we have three ways. The other way is having 2 plus 1 plus 1. That is, we'll select one room where there are two people and we'll select two rooms where there are one people. Selecting the room with two people can be done in two ways. We can either select this room or we can select this room. So that can be selected in two ways. Once that is selected, we need to select two rooms which have exactly one person each. So that can be either Kushal or Farhan or Mukesh. From these three, we have to select two people. That can be done in three ways, 3C2. So this is 6 ways. Overall, the total number of ways is 1 plus 3 plus 6, which is equal to 10. Okay guys, let me go to the next question. Before I go to the next question, again I wanted to tell you about some very useful material that is available on Cracku. One of the things that I would always recommend you to do, in addition to solving a lot of questions, especially in quant, is revising the formulas regularly. And we have a very nice comprehensive PDF for the CAT formulas. You have to just Google search Cracku formula PDF. This PDF is downloaded by lakhs of people. Just 1 or 2 days before the examination, we get tens of thousands of people who download this PDF. I feel that is not the right way to use it. Why do you want to revise the formulas just 1 day before the examination? Try to revise the formulas in the last 1 month. Every single day, go through 10-15 formulas, try to understand them, because the number of formulas that are there is say around 150 to 200. You have 1 month left. Revise all the formulas at ease. Why do you want to wait for the last day to actually download and revise? But having said that, 1 day before the examination, we get like tens of thousands of people downloading this PDF. I would recommend you to download it now and keep revising it regularly every day before the examination. To download it, you have to just Google search Cracku formula PDF and you will get that link. It will look something like this. You can see the number here. I think this we have taken sometime a few months back. This is already greater than 1 lakh. So a lot of people actually download it. You can also Google search for Cracku study material, CAT study material, where there are a lot of useful links for all the information that we have. Many times people say, but sir, mujhe iska link bhejo, mujhe uska link bhejo. The problem is because we can't give those links in different places. If people ask us on say Instagram, it is difficult to actually send the links. Or if people ask us on YouTube, it is difficult to actually give a hyperlink. That is the reason we actually ask them to just Google search it. But we put a link for all the study material in this particular page. So you will find the link for mock test. You will find the link for the formula PDF that I just talked about. You will find the link for the revision videos, daily articles, CAT questions, all the PDFs that we discussed about how you can download. All of them are there in one particular page, which is the CAT study material page. If you want it, please just Google search Cracku CAT study material. You will go to that page, bookmark that page. You will have all the materials that you are actually looking for. Let us go to the next question, guys. The earlier question, in my opinion, was definitely CAT level, maybe slightly on the easier side. This also is CAT level. This is probably maybe slightly on the medium level difficulty. I'll again go out so that you can solve this question. Try to solve it. After that, I'll show you the remaining questions. Ash is saying, sir, earlier I was getting 20s in VRC PYQs, but then I followed your strategy of all questions, but unable to finish all the questions of the last RC. I do 19 questions, getting 30ish. If I can manage 6 minutes more, it goes to 44. Just practice more and more, man. You will get faster. Your mind and your body will adapt much faster than you expect. So just continue to push yourself and definitely attempt all the questions. यशवंत साहब कितने टाइम तक ये सेशन चलेगी? शायद 4 घंटे, शायद 6 बजे तक चलेगी. Sir, I'm able to solve rounds and robins set, but when it comes to distribution of ties, I'm getting confused. It's okay, man. Don't worry. Not everybody can solve all types of sets. We'll have our strengths and weaknesses. Every one of us has those strengths and weaknesses. So don't worry about it. Just focus on solving different types of sets. K-pop girl. Sir, I'm worried about VRC. I'm taking more than 3 minutes to solve VA questions, correct? And I'm aiming to do it in 2 minutes. I'm stuck between two options after deleting two. See, what I would tell you is this. When you are focusing on speed, your accuracy will go down. But I would say that it makes a lot of sense for you to focus on speed in VRC. So don't look at it as it is taking me 3 minutes, sir. The way you have to look at it is that, sir, I have only 2 minutes, so my accuracy is going down. That I would say is fine. It is relevant. But you should not take 3 minutes. It should not happen that you should give 3 minutes for a VA question. You have to mark something and go after 2 minutes. Simple. It should not mean that just for getting slightly more accuracy, you spend more time. That I think is not a good strategy. Sir, in question, total chocolates are mentioned when there is no Bonville. But here in question, it is written for a selected, can anyone help? Okay. That is for the first two questions, and this is the third and fourth question. I'll again show you the first and the second question shortly. Try to solve it. Sir, should I solve these PDFs or focus only on study room? My quants is weak. I can solve one set in LRD and mock if lucky to. I would say solve questions, man. Basically, where you solve it is not as important as you solving it. Like I explained in one of my streams that I know one guy who is just taking a mock every day because he feels that if he's taking a mock, he is able to solve more questions with seriousness. He says that if I'm just sitting in front of my laptop, I'm getting distracted after 10-15 minutes and I'm not solving a lot of questions. But if it is a mock, I am able to sit for 2 hours and properly solve as many questions as I can. So I like taking mocks. I felt okay, that is a good attitude. It is not something that I personally would do, but if it is something that is working out for him, that is okay. Similarly, you should have your own strategy. The end goal is simple. The end goal is you should solve as many questions as you can. In which way you solve it is not super important. Okay, guys, last couple of minutes. Try to solve it. I can. Okay, guys, last 30 seconds. I showed the first two questions, man. Now, if you want, I'll remove the show the other two questions. Let me know if you're looking for the other two questions. This is 1 and 2. This is 3 and 4. Okay, I think the time is up, guys. Let us try to solve it. So let us look at what exactly is given. We are told that there are 6 people, A, B, C, D and E. Okay, we have the 6 people, A, B, C, D, E and F. They buy some chocolates. Each of them bought 3 chocolates amongst Dairy Milk, 5-star, Perk, Munch, Bonville and Silk. So we don't know what are the 3 chocolates that A bought. We'll put 3 blanks here for the chocolates that A bought. Or the chocolate that B bought, we don't know. But we know that all of them bought 3 chocolates each. Similarly, C also bought 3 chocolates. D also bought 3 chocolates. We have to fill these 3 chocolates. E also bought 3 chocolates. And F also bought 3 chocolates. Now, we know the total number of chocolates that are bought. We have 6 friends, each of them bought 3 chocolates. So the total chocolates that are bought is 18 chocolates, which is 6 into 3. Now the split of this 18 chocolates is given. We are told that 3 are Dairy Milk. We are told that there are 3 Dairy Milk here. So we have 3 Dairy Milk. There are 3 5 stars. So we have 3 5 stars. For 5 stars, let me write FS as a short form. We have 2 Perk. And we have 5 Munch. This is given to us. What are the remaining 2 types of chocolates? The 2 types of chocolates that are left are Bonville and what is the other one? Silk. We have Bonville and we have Silk. What is the total number of Bonville and Silk? The total number of chocolates is 18. We were able to account for 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5, which comes to 13. So these 2 together will be 5 chocolates. We just don't know how many are Bonville and how many are Silk. We just don't know that, but total of those 2 is 5. They mixed all the chocolates and they went home, and then they came back to the shopkeeper to clarify everything. The shopkeeper was not able to remember clearly. He said that only one among Amit, Billu and Chand selected a 5 star. The total number of 5 stars is 3. So amongst these 3, there was 1 5 star. We'll write FS for a 5 star. Total number of 5 stars is 3. So the remaining 2 5 stars have to go to D, E and F. 2 of these 3 guys have 5 stars. Drake did not like Munch, hence he did not take it, but he took a 5 star. So Drake took a 5 star, this is FS, and he did not take a Munch. How many Munch are there? There are 5 Munch. What does this imply? It implies that everybody else took a Munch. So A has to take a Munch, B has to take a Munch, C has to take a Munch, D, Drake did not like a Munch, he did not take it, E took a Munch, and F took a Munch. So we are able to account for all the 5 Munch. So let me just cross it off so that there is no confusion. Next, Farah selected a Bonville but did not select a 5 star. So Farah, she did not select a 5 star. But 2 out of D, E and F selected 5 stars. This would imply that E also selected a 5 star. And which one did Farah select? Farah selected a Bonville. So Farah selected a Bonville, but did not select a 5 star. Chand and Eliza bought the same chocolates, one of which is Perk. So Chand over here and Eliza, they had the same chocolates. Eliza bought a 5 star. So Chand also has to buy a 5 star. And both of them also bought a Perk, that is given to us. So the third chocolate that these guys bought is Perk. It is here and it is here. Now if you are looking at it, we were able to account for all the 3 5 stars. We were able to account for both the Perks. So 3 5 stars we have accounted for, 2 Perks we have accounted for. The only things we are not able to account for is the dairy milk, 3 of which are left. Some Bonville, we have accounted for one Bonville that was given to Farah, and silk. The problem with Bonville and silk is, as of now, we don't even know how many of them are actually there. Amit bought exactly one chocolate that Farah did not buy. So if you're looking at Amit and Farah, let me see Amit. Amit has a munch and 2 other chocolates we don't know. Farah has a munch, Bonville and one other chocolate. But between Amit and Farah, there are 2 chocolates which are common and only one chocolate which is different. One more thing we can figure out is that one of the 2 chocolates which is common is munch, because Amit has munch and Farah has munch. Which is the other chocolate which is common, we are not able to identify yet. Which is the chocolate which is different, also we are not able to identify yet. They forced him to give more detail and he remembered that he had the same number of Bonvilles and silks at the start, but now he has more Bonville than silk. What does this mean? It means that at the start he had same number of Bonville and silk, but after these transactions happened, he had more Bonville and less silk. So he sold more silk as compared to Bonville. This would imply that amongst Bonville and silk, the number of silk is greater than Bonville. So the number of silk and Bonville can be either 4 and 1, or the number of silk can be 3 and the number of Bonville can be 2. Either one of the 2 is possible. Either one of these 2 cases is possible. And he also said that there is only one chocolate common between Billu and Drake. So between Billu and Drake, Billu has a munch, Drake has a 5-star, but amongst the remaining 2, there is exactly one common between Billu and Drake. This is what we are able to figure out. Now let us try to reassess what exactly do we know. If you are looking for some space, how many blanks are there? We have 2 blanks for Amit. We have 2 blanks for Billu. Chandu, we know everything. We know all the 3 chocolates he has. We have 2 chocolates for Drake and we have 1 empty for Farah. So we have a total of 7 empty. What are these 7 chocolates? We know that 3 of them are dairy milk. We have accounted for all the 3 5-stars. We have accounted for both the perks. We have accounted for all the 5 munches. The only thing we haven't accounted for are Bonville and silk. We have accounted for 1 Bonville. But other than that, we have not accounted for the others. There are 2 cases left. So amongst the remaining 7, 3 of them are dairy milk, silk and Bonville. It is either 4 and 0 or 3 and 1. I am not saying that the total number of Bonville is 0. I am just saying that amongst the ones that I have to account for, the total Bonville is either 1 or 2, out of which I know for sure that Farah has 1. So the remaining Bonvilles that I am looking for are either 0 or 1. The total will be 7, which is either 3 plus 4 or 3 plus 3 plus 1. This is the first thing. The second thing is, if you are looking at the 4 people, we have A, we have B, we have D and we have F. A has a munch, B has a munch, D has a 5-star, F has a munch and a Bonville. For F, we need just one more. If we can fill this last for F, we will get it done. And it will be either a dairy milk or a silk or a Bonville. But because a Bonville is already there, this over here cannot be a Bonville. Now if you are looking at this case, where amongst the remaining 7, if say 4 of them are silk, then this will be silk, this will be silk, this will be silk and this will be silk. All the 4 of them will have silk. And we will be left with just 3 dairy milk. Then this will be dairy milk, this will be dairy milk and this will be dairy milk. But if you think about it, the number of chocolates between B and D, there will be 2 common chocolates. Silk will be common and even this dairy milk will be common. That is not allowed. So this case essentially cannot exist. What we are essentially saying now is that Don't tell me I cancelled it, man. It's okay. What we are essentially saying is that the only case that exists is there are 3 dairy milks, there are 3 silk left, and there is 1 Bonville left. And where should we account for it? Let me draw this again. There was a mistake. I had to actually delete it off. So A has 1 munch, B has 1 munch, C has 1 munch, D has 1 5-star, E has a munch, F has a munch, E also has a 5-star, C also has a 5-star, C also has a perk, E also has a perk. Now, this is what we discussed. I think F also has a Bonville. So there are 7 blanks left. What we are now saying is that out of these 7 blanks, 3 of them have to be dairy milk, 3 of them have to be silk, 1 of them has to be Bonville. Again, let us focus on para, because for para we know 2 of the chocolates. We know that 1 of them is munch, 1 of them is Bonville. So the other one, it has to be either a dairy milk or it has to be a silk. It cannot be a Bonville because Farah already has a Bonville. So now let us consider 2 cases. In the first case, Farah, the last chocolate that Farah has is silk. In the second case, the last chocolate that Farah has is a Bonville. If say the last chocolate that Farah has is silk, it will be like this. This is A, it will be munch, this is B, munch, this is C. For C we figured it out, it is munch, 5-star and perk. For D it is 5-star and 2 blanks. For E we figured it out, it is munch, 5-star and perk. For F we figured out 2, which is munch and Bonville. What we are essentially saying is that in the first case we'll assume that this is silk. In the second case we'll assume that this is dairy milk, and we'll try to fill it up. If it is silk, we'll put silk over here. Now we are left with 2 silk, 3 dairy milk and 1 Bonville, and there are only 3 people left, so all of them should get a dairy milk. So A should get a dairy milk, B should get a dairy milk, and D should get a dairy milk. So these 3 dairy milks are taken care of. We are left with 2 silk and 1 Bonville, and there are 3 blanks left. We also know that B and D already have 1 chocolate in common, which is dairy milk. So both of them cannot get silk, because if both of them get silk, then B and D will have dairy milk and silk common. So this would imply that A has to get silk and B and D will get either Bonville or silk. One of them will get a Bonville, one of them will get a silk. So there are 2 cases possible over here where we assume that Farah got a silk. On the other hand, if you assume that Farah got a dairy milk over here, now we need to account for 3 silk, 2 dairy milk and 1 Bonville. There are 3 people left, so all of them should get silk. So this is silk, this is silk and this is silk. There are 2 dairy milk left and 1 Bonville. Again, B and D have 1 chocolate in common, which is silk. So both of them cannot get dairy milk. This would imply that A has to get 1 dairy milk. And therefore B and D will get, one of them will get a dairy milk and one of them will get a Bonville. These are the cases that are possible. So there are basically 2 cases here where Farah got a silk, and there are 2 cases here where Farah got a dairy milk. Overall, there are 4 cases that are possible. Let us now solve the questions. If you are looking at the questions, for how many friends can we accurately identify the 3 chocolates that they bought? We can accurately identify it for C and E. For sure, we know that C has munch, 5-star and perk. We know that E has munch, 5-star and perk. Can we identify it for A? In this case, we have A has munch, silk and dairy milk. In this case, A has Munch, dairy milk and Silk. In both the cases, the chocolates of A are the same. The chocolates are Munch, dairy milk and Silk. The chocolates of B are different. B can get either Munch, dairy milk and either Bonville or Silk. The chocolate for C is the same. The chocolate for D is again, it can be either 5-star, dairy milk, Bonville or Silk. So again, we are not sure about D. For E also we are sure. But for F again we are not sure. It is either Munch, Bonville and Silk or Munch, Bonville and dairy milk. So we are only sure about A, C and E. I know that at the start we are not able to figure out the chocolates for A, but in all the cases the chocolates that A has are the same. Therefore we can figure it out for 3 people. Let us look at the next question. If Billu bought Bonville, which of the following chocolates did Drake buy? Okay. So we are basically saying that B has Bonville. One of the chocolates that B has is Bonville. Which of the chocolates did D buy? This is what we are looking at. In the first case, if B has Bonville, it is M, S and D. Therefore, D will have 5-star, Silk and dairy milk. This is in the first case. In the second case, if B has Munch, dairy milk and Bonville, D will have 5-star, dairy milk and Silk. 5-star, dairy milk and Silk. In both the cases, the chocolates with D are 5-star, Silk and dairy milk. So if Billu bought Bonville, which of the following chocolates did? So he definitely bought dairy milk. That is there in this case as well as in this case. So that will be the correct answer. Which of the following conditions will be sufficient to determine the chocolates bought by each person? Billu and Chand bought 2 chocolates, 2 of the same chocolates. If you are looking at Billu and Chand bought definitely S together. Billu bought Munch. Sorry, we are looking at Billu and Chand over here. Sorry. So both of them definitely got Munch together. This is the case. Chand did not get Silk and Chand did not get dairy milk. Chand did not get Bonville. So the only chocolate that Billu and Chand in both of these cases got together is Munch. So in this particular case, it is not valid. If you are looking at this case and the commonality is between Billu and Chand, Munch is common between them. Both of them bought Munch. Billu bought dairy milk. Chand did not get dairy milk. Billu got either Bonville or Silk. Both of them Chand did not get. So in none of these cases are there 2 chocolates common between Billu and Chand. So this is just a redundant clue. This is not happening in any one of the cases. If you are looking at the second condition, Billu and Chand bought only one same chocolate. This is an information that we already know. Like we just discussed now, in this case the only chocolate which is common is Munch. If you are looking at the second case, over here also the commonalities between Billu and Chand is only Munch. So this is something that we already know. We know that both of them have only one chocolate. So neither X nor Y is giving us any new information. Condition Y we already know. This is true in all of our cases. And condition X is never true. In any one of our cases, condition X is never true. So by having these 2 conditions, we are not getting any new information, so we can't really figure it out. How many combinations of chocolates are possible for Billu? Let us figure out. There are 4 cases. In the first case, the chocolates of Billu are Munch, Silk and dairy milk. In the second case, the 2 chocolates of Billu are Munch, Silk and Bonville. In the next 2 cases, the 2 chocolates of Billu are Munch, dairy milk and Bonville. In the second case, it is Munch, dairy milk, and silk. So we have Munch, silk, and dairy milk. Munch, silk, and dairy milk. These two are basically the same. So this is one. Munch, silk, and Bonville. This is the second one. Munch, dairy milk, and Bonville. This is the third. Like we discussed, both of these conditions are the same, so we won't count it twice. So the combinations of chocolate that Billu can have is 3. Let me look at the chat before going to the next question. Yeah, this is I think a slightly difficult set, guys. So don't worry if you are not able to get it correct. Just focus on doing the best that you can. Also, I wanted to tell you about the CAT 2026 course that we have launched. This is for students who are focused on next year's CAT. If you are looking for this year's CAT, definitely put in full effort. Even if you are looking for CAT 2026 as your first serious attempt, I would recommend you to take CAT 2025, that is the upcoming CAT, with all your seriousness. This is a course, this will be valid till January of 2027. There are a lot of features which are available. You will get a lot of concept videos, a lot of solved questions, more than 15,000 solved questions which complete the entire syllabus. We are also looking at live classes. I will be taking live classes every Monday. Sayali will be taking the live class every Tuesday. And we also have excellent faculty, like we just mentioned, who are going to take the live classes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In addition to it, you will get more than 60 MBA mocks. This include CAT and all the other OMATs like XAT, SNAP, NMAT, all of them, and a lot of sectional tests. Also, the daily targets, which are extremely popular, will be available to students who are enrolling to the 2026 course, CAT 2026 course. So, if you are looking for enrolling to it, you can definitely check it out. You can call us on our phone number. I think it should be available. Yeah. Over here, you can see the phone number. You can call us on that support number, or you can just send us a mail at support@cracku.in. This is the next question, guys. Try to check it out. Pranam is saying, sir, I'm not able to solve a single set in a mock. What should I do? I would recommend you to solve questions from the previous year's papers, guys. Then you will get some good confidence. Devish Vijay saying, sir, the tablet setup is much better for DLR. Yeah, man, probably that is true. Let us figure it out. Let us do it with all our seriousness this time. And after the session is over, then we can take your feedback and take a call. We have, guys, 250 likes. Please do like the stream. I'll just give a shout out for the likes and then go. Please like the stream. I'm looking for 400 likes. That is the target. So please try to get it. We have close to 200 people are watching the stream live now. So let us please like so that we can reach our target. Because Chaudhary Singh sir attempted Dashcat 11, got 85 marks with 13 VRC, 13 VRC, 21 DLR, and due to silly mistakes, 34 in quants. How to increase it? Try to look at it section wise, man. Try to see how you can get 5 marks more in verbal. Try to see how you can get 5 marks more in LRDI, and try to see how you can get 2-3 questions extra correct in quant. That should be the case. Once you analyze your mistakes and where you are making where you are losing marks, you can put in effort. Normally, I would say if you are solving a lot of questions, your speed and accuracy will improve. I think Mulani Singh, sir, should we do last type of set which we did of arrangements in CAT or leave it? I would say the last type of set is slightly on the harder side, but that can definitely come in the examination. Uh, Maybe I would leave it in the examination if I get stuck in the middle or something. Because when you look at the questions, also you can figure out at the start only that multiple cases are possible, which is something that I always do when I'm analyzing the LRDA section. I try to see whether multiple cases are possible or only one case is possible. When there are multiple cases possible, normally I don't try to attempt it. Okay, let us look at the questions, guys. These are the first three questions. Nishan Agrawal saying, sir, in previous questions, Amit can select either silk or DM. We don't know for sure. That is, uh, Amit will select both silk and DM. He will select munch, silk, and DM. There are three questions here, man. The fourth question I'll put it up. First, solve these three questions. In the next 2 minutes, I'll show you the fourth question. Okay. Anush Kamble Singh, sir, any prediction for this year's DLR sets? I have as much information as you do, man. So I don't have any predictions. I just hope the DLR sets will be on the easier side and not like very difficult. Or at least the difficulty level I hope will be uniform. Because then there will be less uncertainty. If there are certain questions which are very difficult and certain questions which are very easy, the set selection becomes very, very important. And that would be a lot dependent on luck. So I hope that doesn't happen. Okay guys, last 2 minutes for this set and after that I'll give the explanation. Let me know if you got the set correct. This is an easy set, should not take you too much time. Message in the chat if you got the set correct and you want me to explain, then I'll immediately explain off. If say 10-15 people message that yeah, the set is completed, I'll just give the explanation. Because I forgot to put the timer for this, so I don't want to waste till the timer is completely run down. Looks like many people got it correct. Yasir, Sonima, Vishal Datta, Jampani Charan, Somil Gandhi. Okay. Can you show the initial two questions? I will show you, man. I'll show you. Just give me 1 minute. Let these guys look at 3 and 4. And then I will again show 1 and 2. Okay. I'll show 1 and 2 for 2 minutes. Maybe like for 1 minute. And after that, we'll start solving the session. Okay. I think many people are saying they've completed. Yeah, Jinesh, the first two questions are on the screen. Try to solve it and I'll explain shortly. So before explaining this question, just giving people some time to actually solve it. One of the things that I wanted to tell you is, let me take it this side so that they can see the questions. I want to tell you about the 30-day plan video that Sayali made. So it is a very nice plan that she explained where you can look at what is the best way in which you can make use of the remaining 30 days. She gave advices to all types of students, students who have just started preparation, students who have been preparing for the last 2-3 months, students who are struggling in one particular section. For all of them, she has given a plan. So you should definitely check it out. The video for this is given in the description of this video. It is basically just on our YouTube page. We have just uploaded the video yesterday. So that is one video I would definitely recommend you to check it out. In the same one, we also gave a calendar that we would recommend students to follow. You can download that calendar. Again, the PDF for this is given in the description of this video. So first check out that video. The link for the 30-day plan by Sayali is given in the description of this video. Once you go there, in that video, you will have the schedule PDF. Again, hundreds of people have downloaded it. Definitely do check it out. I am quite certain that it will be very useful for you in making use of the remaining 30 days. With that being said, let us try to solve this question. So what is the information that is given here? We are told that these guys are playing a game of rock, paper, scissors. But if you look at it, the rules of the rock, paper, scissors are slightly different. Normally, I think rock wins against scissors, but here rock loses against scissors and so on. So let us try to first write it down so that there is no confusion. What will happen? Who is winning when rock is playing against paper? Who is the winner? Similarly, when rock is playing against scissors, who is the winners? And similarly, when scissor is playing against paper, who is the winner? These are the three things that we have to first look at. Here we are saying that the one who chooses rock wins against paper. So here rock is the winner and loses against the one who chooses scissors. So between scissors and rock, scissors wins. So let me write it down. So if it is scissors versus rock, the winner is scissors. The one who chooses paper wins against the one who chooses scissors. So between paper and scissors, paper wins. Now what we are told is the results of each of them is given. The winner against each of them in this table is given. That is, in A versus B, who is the winner? In A versus B, the winner is rock. So if the winner is rock in A versus B, this is rock versus paper. Because rock wins only against paper, rock loses against scissor. Similarly, we can write down all the 6, A versus C, A versus D, B versus C, B versus D, and C versus D. These are the 6 matches. In A versus C, the winner is scissors. It is given here, over here. So A versus C, it is scissors who is the winner. And A versus D, the winner is rock. B versus C, the winner is paper. B versus D, the winner is scissors here. C versus D, the winner is paper. We know who wins, who scissor wins against. Scissor wins against rock. So A versus C is scissors versus rock. Similarly, rock wins against paper. A versus D and A versus B is rock versus paper. Okay. Okay, and B versus C is paper versus scissors, because paper is winning, so paper wins against scissors. B versus D is scissors versus rock. Scissors wins against rock, so this is scissors versus rock. And C versus D is paper versus scissors. These are the matchups. We still don't know who played what. We just know who won against each of them. And because we know who won, we also know what the other person played. Now here we are told that D lost all the matches. So in this, rock will be A and paper will be D. In B versus D, scissors will be B and rock will be D. In C, paper will be C and scissors will be D, because D lost all of the matches. So we know the pairings for 3 of the games. A lost only once and it chose paper in that game. So A lost one of these 2 games. These are the 2 games that we don't know. In one game, A versus C, it is scissors versus rock, there is no paper. In one game, A versus B, it is rock versus paper. So in this game, A lost. This has to be A and this has to be B. Similarly, A has to win the second game, because we are told that A lost only one game. So this is A and this is C. B used paper only once. So now if you are looking at the last one, in this game B did not use paper. In this game B did not use paper. So B has to use paper in this last game. So this has to be B and this has to be C. So now if you are looking at the questions, how many matches did each one of them win? A won 2 games, B won 3 games and C won 1 game. I think that is clear, because B won this game, B won this game and B won this game. So B won 3 games, A won 2 games and C won only against D. How many times did A use rock? A used rock in this game against C. No, A did not use rock here also. In A versus B, A did not use rock. In A versus C, A did not use rock. In A versus D, A used rock. So here I think A used rock. So A used rock only once. How many occasions did C use rock to win the contest? C won only one contest and C won that contest against D, and in that contest he used paper. So the correct answer will be 0. Which among rock, paper, scissors was used most number of times? How many times was rock used? How many times was paper used? And how many times was scissors used? Rock was used once, twice, thrice, and 4 times. Paper was used once, twice, thrice, and 4 times. Scissors was used once, twice, thrice, and 4 times. So all of them were used equally, which is option D. Let me look at the chat, and after that we'll go to the next question. We have 170 people who are watching the stream live. Guys, please do like the stream. We have 290 likes. I want to get to at least 400 likes. So I need 110 more likes. Please do like the stream, guys. It will mean a lot to us. Let me know if you have any doubts. Others will just go to the next question. Yeah, I know this is an easy question, man. But basically, you have to believe that at least one such question will come in the examination. Now, I would say this rock, paper, scissors one is a fairly easy set. Maybe this much easy set can come. I would not rule it out. But at least the first set that we solved was also an easy set. I think one of these two types of sets can come. You should always have that belief. You should not think that all the LRDI sets will be like the second set we solved, which I would say is on the more difficult side. We are having a CAT 2026 scholarship test, guys. That is tomorrow. This is only for students who are aiming for next year's CAT. So definitely do check it out. It is a 1 hour examination. It will happen in the morning at 10 a.m. That is a fixed slot. You cannot take it after that, or you cannot take it before that. If you are interested, do book it. It is a free test for anybody who is interested for CAT 2026. You can just go to the page. The link will be given in the chat. You can check it out. It will be held on November 2nd, that is tomorrow, at 10 o'clock in the morning. This is the next set, guys. Try to solve it. I'm starting the timer. This is also, I would say, a slightly tough set, but try to get it correct.
Hi all, hi everyone, good afternoon all the people. I hope you are having a lot of fun solving these LRDI sets. They are very interesting sets. I generally like solving them quite a bit. So in this we have a maximum minima set. Generally people don't like them, find it difficult, but this I feel at least some questions of these this is an easy one. I'll just write down some of the numbers if it's not visible. This is 330. This is 395, this is 372, this is 397, this is 383, this is 360, this is 380, and the last one is 320. Okay? What happened? No. Doesn't work. Good afternoon, everyone. Left side zoom, I don't think it works that way. Does it? Okay, just the text, this is increasing. The size of the chart is not increasing, but chart is what we want. So I just wrote down the numbers, okay? Okay. Okay, good afternoon. If you want, this is photography. drawing, singing, dancing. This is swimming, TT, FB, and cricket. Okay. These are the activities, these are the numbers. I'll just write them down neatly in case somebody is not able to read the numbers I've scribbled along this. 395, 372, 397, 383, 360, 380, and 320. Okay. If anything is not visible, let me know. I'll write it down for you. Is 1 320? Okay. Here are the questions. Okay. These are the first 3 questions and these are the last 2 questions over here. Okay. Try to solve all of them. I'll answer whether your answers are correct. Just answer all of them, then I'll answer whether it is correct or not. What is the activity mentioned? So you are able to see all of this. I'll just go to the activities. I'll write the activity name next to it. Okay. What are the activities mentioned? So this is photography. This is drawing. This is singing. This is dancing. This is swimming. And this is TT. This is football. And this is cricket. Okay, these are the activities mentioned. Okay, all information is there with you guys now. Is this Venn diagram? Okay, what information is not there? Will this video be available later on? Yes, we will be keeping the video later on also. So it's live as well as you can see this later on. Okay, good afternoon everyone. Good to know Aditya, and continue working very hard for the basically keep doing your mocks properly, daily target properly, and you will get an actual the best present would be that if you actually get an IM admit. So keep working hard. Good afternoon. Zoom in your screen, guys. Okay. This is a maximum minimum set. Don't try to solve it with Venn diagrams. If you try to solve it with Venn diagrams, you will get very badly stuck. In set theory, there are some things that you solve with Venn diagrams. There are some things that you solve with the other method is basically considering overlap of sets. So overlap of sets is basically if I say that S is of exactly 1 set, D is of exactly 2 sets, T is of exactly 3 sets and so on. I haven't started the time, but I think the timer started. Yeah. Okay. So try to solve this, guys. Come on, there are 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. How many mocks to give till CAT in November? I would say that, see, right now you have like 1 month, slightly less than a month. I would say that try to give about, I think anywhere between 4 to 6 is a decent number. 4 is if you have already been giving consistently mocks, 4 is okay. But 6 to 8, if you haven't consistently been given mocks, give 6 to 8 now, because you can give one over the weekend as well as one on a Wednesday. So if you are doing like Sunday, Wednesday, that's also a decent schedule. If you haven't regularly been giving mocks till now, if you have already followed the schedule of Dashcat, just stick to the schedule. That should be good enough. Okay, so scroll down. A lot of people are telling me the answer to the first question. So many of you are right. I won't say the answer. I want everyone to attempt, but many of you are right. Come on, guys. Third, fourth, fifth question also try to answer. Can you go to the third question, please? Sure. Yeah. Here is the third question. Nancy, I would say 10 would be an overkill. Try to give 8 because that's like 2 a week. I think 2 a week is the max you should give. Beyond 2 a week, the whole mock loses meaning. See, every mock, before every mock, you should put in the hard work that you should solve a lot of questions. You should, between mocks, you should identify areas that you should work on and solve and practice a lot of questions. If you give 10 mocks such that between the mocks there isn't much effort, then it loses its meaning. Keep it at 8, make 2 mocks per week, but do it in such a way that between the mocks you're putting a lot of effort to like identify areas that you're weaker in and you're solving those questions. If you do that, 8 mocks is also sufficient. Guys, a lot of you are getting question 4 wrong. Try the question 4 again. Many of you are getting it wrong. Many of you are also getting question 3 also wrong. Guys, one more small request from my side. We have reached 316. Our target is of 400. So please like this stream if you haven't already. Okay, 2.5 minutes. Come on, guys. You can do this. I'll give you a small hint. Okay, the guys who are struggling with second and fourth question, the second and fourth question are interlinked. Okay, just think about it. They are interlinked to each other. This is the fifth question. Can you show question number 2? Okay, here you go. Question number 2. Okay, this is the second question. Okay, guys, last 1 minute. Every one of you can try and solve this one. I would tell this if somebody is waiting and hoping for the right answers. I haven't gotten any single answer yet which is fully right. Okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all are right. I haven't gotten a single answer yet. So, anybody who is waiting on the fence and not trying, try now. Come on, try. Ma'am, my Cracku mocks are over. What should I do? Ashish, make sure that you have also attempted all the sectionals. The sectionals essentially are like mocks. Also the head start mocks. Make sure that you also see the previous year's papers. Try to take them as mocks. If you have done all of this, then basically you've had enough practice. I think if you have missed any of those sectionals, if you have missed any previous year's test paper as mock, take it now. Okay. So because you're close, but many of your answers are slightly wrong. Come on, guys. Venkatesh, 3 of your answers are right. I think some guys have missed the 4th and 5th question. They have interchange or swap. Shan, you are close but slightly off. Okay, I think the time is up. Okay, so let's try to solve this. Okay, let's go. So what is the information that is given to us? In a society, there are 400 children. Each of them at least enjoys at least one of the recreation activities. Photography by 330, drawing by 395, singing by 372, and so on. So the first question that is asked to us is, let's go back to the first question. The first question is, what can be the maximum number of children enjoying all the activities? So what we have to do is try to maximize the overlap. If I was maximizing the overlap, I'd say that let the same set of people who like one activity also like another activity. We'll try to make sure that all of these, like 400, all of them are overlapping. So what is the max overlap that can occur? That is the cardinality of the smallest set. So what is the smallest cardinality? What is the smallest set? That would be the limiting factor. Over here, cricket is the smallest set. It has only 320 people who like it. So beyond that, you cannot have anybody, like 320 is the limit. So if I assume that the 320 children that like cricket also like play football, also play TT, those same 320 also do swimming, also do dancing, also do singing, drawing, everything else, then that is the limiting factor. So what is the maximum number of students who can enjoy all the activities? It is basically 320. The limit is imposed by cricket because cricket is the one which has the least number of people. So whenever you are looking for any overlap, okay, there are even 3 sets, 4 sets, whatever, and you are asked what is the maximum overlap of all 3 sets, it is limited by the number of elements in the smallest set. So over here it is limited by the number of people in cricket. So the answer to this is 320. Now let's take a look at the second question. The second question is slightly more difficult. What can be the minimum number of children enjoying all the activities? So here basically we want the number of children who are essentially want to minimize the overlap. In the first question we wanted to maximize the overlap. Here we want to minimize the overlap. How do I minimize the overlap? I basically want the guys who are playing cricket, I don't want them to play another sport. The guys who are playing football, I don't want them to play another sport. So essentially, the people who are not playing cricket and the people who are not playing football and the people who are not playing TT and the people who are not playing swimming, they should not overlap. Because if I say of the 320, okay, of the 400, 320 play cricket, these 80 don't play cricket. So I'll say that let the 80 be on one side. I don't want them to overlap with the number who don't play TT. I don't want them to overlap with the number who don't play football and swimming, etc. So I essentially want to maximize the union of the negatives. So first I will find out how many negatives are there. How many people don't play, don't do photography, don't do drawing, etc. So if I look, 70 don't do photography, 5 don't do drawing, 18 over here, 18 no, 28 don't do swimming, singing, then 3 don't do dancing, 17 don't do swimming, 40 don't do TT, 20 don't do football, and 80 don't do cricket. So if I want to maximize the number who cannot play all 7 or who cannot play 1, 2, 3, all 8 activities, what I will try to do is, I will try to maximize. So I'm minimizing the people who do all 8 activities, say. So I'm going to minimize the overlap, which means that whatever is the negative part, I'm going to try to maximize it. So if I want to maximize all of these people, I make sure that they don't overlap. If they don't overlap, that would be the max sum possible. So over here, what is the max possibility? So suppose that none of these overlap. If none of these overlap, their sum should be less than 400. If it is more than 400, it indicates that they at least overlap a little. Because it is not possible that the number of people who don't like a sport can increase beyond the number of children that are there in the society. So if I add this up, if it is greater than 400, then that means that nobody, the minimum number of people that can actually play or like all sports is 0. Because I can essentially, basically it is the limit that at least these many will at least 400 I can split in such a way that they don't play any of the sport. So let us see what is the sum of this. This is 100, 140, 157, 160, 188, 193, 263. So 263 students are basically the negatives. The negatives, if I consider that the negatives don't overlap, then they are 263. Which means that from 400, if I remove these negative guys, there is at least 137 guys who are part of all activities. No matter what I do, even if I try to maximize the negative overlap, it is not adding up to 400, which means that there are at least 137 guys which will be part of the entire overlap, which means that the minimum number of people minimum number of children who are enjoying all the activities is 137. Did somebody not understand this? Just let me know. Okay. So basically over here, when you want to find out, see, if I want to maximize, I have to find the minimum criteria. Here I want to minimize. So I took the negative come maximum. If I take the maximum of the negative, I see that 263 can be the maximum number of students who are not engaging in at least one sport. 263 are at max doing 6 sports, which means that 137 will be doing all 7 sports. At max 6 sports will be 263 because at least one sport they are not doing. So 263 is the number of students who are doing at max 6 sports. So 7 sports doing, at max 7 sports. So if 263 is the number of people who are doing at max 7 sports, then the people who are doing all 8 sports will be 400 minus 263, which is 137. Now let's come to the third question. Can you repeat if the sum is greater than 400? If the sum is greater than 400, that basically means that there is a scenario that the minimum becomes 0 then. See, if suppose over here, if this value was like say 450, but the value max can be 400 only, because there are only 400 kids, which means that the number of people, which is the minimum number of people engaging in all activities, becomes 0. If it is less than 400, it means that there are some that have to engage in all activities. If it is greater than 400, it basically means that minimum can be 0. Okay. Why we take these amounts? Okay, see, basically, why do we take these amounts? Why are we taking negative? See, over here, till earlier, we were considering the overlap of sets. Okay. This is with 8 sets, so it's kind of difficult to understand, but we can understand it better with 3 sets. So suppose this is 80, this is 50, this is 60. Okay. If I was trying to figure out, okay, what is the max that can be part of all 3? Then it is the value of the smallest set. This max can be 30, 50. That is the only thing that I have to consider. But now if I find out, okay, if I want to find out what is the min value of this. Okay, if this is 80, 50 and 60. And instead of finding the max value of this, if I want to find the min value of this, what I do is I try to say that what is the minimum value of people who are not engaging in any of the sports. Suppose that this is say 100. Okay. So that means that 80 are not part of this. So I'll say if 80 are part of this, 20 are not part of this. If 50 are part of this, 50 are not part of that. If 60 are part of this, 40 are not part of this. So I can say that 40 are not part of this, 50 are not part of this, 20 are not part of this. If I add them up, how much do I get? I get 110. This actually exceeds 100, which means that if I want to make a representation, I can make a representation with 0 over here, because if I consider the negatives, they are actually increasing, going beyond the number of people that are there. So if this is 0, I can say that, okay, this is 0. I will distribute the other values in such a way that this minimum or overlap of all 3 sets is actually 0. So let us see how we can do it. So D will essentially have to be, the overlap of 2 sets will have to be in such a way that it becomes 0. So if I consider, here you can do it with S plus D plus T, but over here, because the negatives are greater than 100, I can have T equal to 0. Okay. This is the idea that whenever you are minimizing the overlap, consider the negative overlap. Now let's consider the third question. If TT, photography and cricket are allowed in the society, then the maximum number of children who like exactly 2 of the 3 recreational activities. So over here, TT, photography and cricket. TT is 360. Photography is how much? It is 330. And cricket is 320. We need a max of people who like exactly 2 out of the 3 activities. Since it is 3 activities, I'll do my S plus D plus T. So if I add, okay, this is photography, cricket and TT. Okay, photography, cricket, TT. This is how much? This is 330. Photography is 360, or yeah, this is, cricket is 320, photography is 330, TT is 360. Now, if I consider the number of students that are there, let S be the ones who are there in exactly one of these 3 activities, D be those who are exactly 2 activities, T be those who are in part of 3 activities. If I consider S plus D plus T, I can also consider part of neither of the activities, but I want to like maximize D. So if I am considering what is the max value of D, I will ignore N. Because if I am maximizing, then I will consider N to be 0 anyway. So this is equal to how much? This is equal to the number of students in the colony, which is 400. S plus 2D plus 3T will be how much? That is if I add these guys up. So this is 90, 10. So this is equal to how much? 1010. Okay. This is this will be equal to how much? This is 1010. Okay. So over here, if I consider these 2 equations, if I subtract this equation from this, what do I get? D plus 2T will be equal to how much? This is equal to 610. But D plus T max can be equal to 400, because that is the number of kids that are there in the society. So D plus T is 400 max, which means that if D plus 2T is 610 and D plus T is 400, then T has to be 210, which means that D has to be 190 and S will be 0. So what is the max number of overlap or of people who play exactly 2 of the 3 recreational activities? It is option D, 190. I don't know why a lot of people made a mistake over here and put 180, but it has to be 190. Okay. I think maybe you misread, some of the values might have been misread. That might be the reason, but otherwise it is an easy one. Okay. Let's go to the third question. Okay. The third question is, find the maximum number of children who like exactly 7 activities. Okay. Now, how is this related? I told you this is related to our third question. Okay. Why is this related to our third question? What was our third question? Second question. What was our second question? Our second question was, how many students like, what is the minimum number of students that like exactly 8 activities or all activities? So exactly 8, this minimum number, how much is this? This we found to be 137, which means that suppose 1 is those who like exactly 1, 2 is those who like exactly 2, 3 is the ones who like exactly 3, 4 is the ones who like exactly 4, 5 is the ones who like exactly 5, 6 is the ones who like exactly 6, 7 exactly 7, and 8 is the one who like exactly 8. Now, if I want to say that this exactly 8 minimum is 137, and we are asked that what is the maximum of this exactly 7. So what is the limiting condition? This sum has to be equal to 400. And the overlap should be such that it should be basically that the overlap should be in such a way that the other conditions are met. But over here we know that the exactly 8 minimum value is 137. If that is 137, then this 137 corresponds to the maximum value of this. Therefore, if this is 137, 400 minus 137 will give you the maximum value of 7, exactly 7. This is equal to 263. Everything else, exactly 1, exactly 2, exactly 3, I assume to be 0. Then I will get that exactly 7 is 263 and exactly 8 is at its minimum value, which is of 137. Then I get this of 400. So over here what I am basically assuming is that the guys who are not liking one of the activities, right, they basically don't like exactly one activity. Everything else they like. Because they like everything else, they automatically fall into the bucket of liking exactly 7 activities. So when I find out the minimum of exactly 8, I also find out the maximum of exactly 7. So what is the value for exactly 7? This is 263. Okay. Let's go to the 5th question. What is the maximum number of children who like at most 6 activities? So over here, now it is back to our at most 6, at least 6, all of these things is back. So now till now I was avoiding doing that mess of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, but it is no longer avoidable now because now we have to calculate. Because now, see, till now we had to maximize. If I consider this is 1 plus 2, okay, yeah. If it is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8, this sum is equal to 400. Till now I was avoiding doing this because there are 8 overlaps. To do this maximum minima with 8 overlaps is painful. So we did a master stroke. We tried to do it from the negative side. Okay, negative side will give you the max of 8. Because instead of finding the max like from this side and then trying to maximize this, which would be painful to do, we did it from the negative side. But over here we have to now maximize this. So now there is no escaping, we have to use this equation. So this equation is 400. If I consider the sum of the overlaps, what would be it? 2 times 2 plus 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4 plus 5 times 5 plus 6 times 6 plus 7 times overlap of 7 plus 8 times part of 8 activities. This is equal to what? This is equal to the sum of all the activities given. So sum of all of these 330, 395, 372, all of them. Can somebody tell me quickly what is the sum of all of these values? So 3, if I take the sum, this is 7, 14, 17. So this is 17, 12, 13, 20, 29, 37, 43, 51, 53. So 5 over here, this is 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 29, 2937. So our sum overlap of everything is how much? It is 2937. Now if I take the difference, what will I get? If I take the difference of second equation minus the first equation, I will get 1 time the overlap of 2 sets plus 2 times the overlap of 3 sets plus 3 times the overlap of 4 sets plus 4 times the overlap of 5 sets plus 5 times the overlap of 6 sets plus 6 times the overlap of 7 sets plus 7 times the overlap of 8 sets. This is the difference between 2937 minus 400. How much is this? This is 2537. Now over here we get to the condition that we have to maximize 6, this 6 over here. So how do we do that? We assume everything and it is at most 6, okay. So we have to find out what is at most 6, what is the maximum number of children who are at most 6 activities. So basically to do that, what I will do is, I will try to make it that, okay, at what is the maximum number of children who are doing at most 6 activities. So when I have to maximize this at most 6, what I will do is I will try to say that let everything else be equal to 0. Okay, as much as possible, let this be equal to 0. I am now left with 5 times 6 plus 6 times 7 plus 7 times 8. This is equal to 2537. Now, what should I maximize? See, I have to maximize this. It has a multiplier of 5. 7 has a multiplier of 6. This 8 has a multiplier of 7. I want to minimize 7 and 8 so that I can maximize this 6. So to minimize this part, to minimize that part, I will assume this is 0 because it has a smaller multiplier. So because of that, I want to basically make sure that I have the minimum possible value such that I am giving it the max multiplier, because I am assuming that, say, 4, it's only between 6 and 8. Only these people are there. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7 are all gone. Because I'm trying to maximize the number of people who are in these 2 slots, because this 8 has the highest multiplier. So if I give it the most number of, like the minimum number of people, when I multiply it with 7, I get the max compensation. Because of that, I'm giving it the most number of people so that I can end up maximizing this. Whenever I have to maximize one variable, but there are conditions that have to be met, we have to basically maximize the one with the highest multiplier, which is 8 over here. So over here, we'll assume that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 0, 7 is 0. It's only between 6 and 8. So 6 plus 8 is 400. And 5 times 6 plus 7 times 8 is 2537. So if I say this is 5 times 8, 5 times 6 into 5 times 8 would be how much? That would be 400 into 5, which is 2000. So therefore, our 3 or 2 times 7 will be 2 times 8 will be how much? This will be 2537 minus 2000. So 2 times 8 will be, in this particular case, it will be 537. Even if I distribute only to 6 and 8, I will get that 2 times 8 is at least 537. Which means that over here in this case, how much is 8? In this particular case, 8 is equal to, divide by this, I get this is 2, this is 2, 6 and 1, this is 260, 1 and 13, 268, 268.5, right? 117, 268.5. Now 268.5, this is its min value over here. If I am trying to maximize 6, the minimum value that I have to give to 8 in that scenario, this is not the minimum value overall. This is the minimum value when I am trying to maximize 6 and not give anything to 7 also. If I can give something to 7, then it will not be 268.5. So remember, this is different slightly. Otherwise, we had gotten 263 as the value, right? So over here, this actually corresponds to the case when I'm trying to maximize 6. So even when I'm trying to maximize 6, it is at least 268.5. But 268.5 is not a decimal value, which means that the actual maximum is how much? It is 269. So when I'm maximizing 6, 8 at least has to be 269, which means that the balance 400 minus 269 has to be in 6. So this 131 is the max value that can go to 6. So what is the answer to the last question? The last question, the option is option D, 131. When I want to maximize and I'm allowed to use 7, I don't have to maximize till 6, then the minima would be different. But if I have to maximize only till 6, then I can give only 2, I have to put more over here in 8, and therefore I can give only 131 in 6. Okay. Okay, please repeat question 6. Okay, so 1 second. I will tell you the overall idea behind each one of them. Okay. So for the first question is pretty simple, easy for everybody to understand. For first question, when we are considering what is the maximum overlap of all 8 sets, that will be basically the set with the smallest amount. So that will be 320. For the second question, we are asking what is the minimum value of 8? 8 min. Over here what we did was that we considered negative method. that through the negative method, I'll try to maximize the overlap of everything else other than this particular value. When I did the negative method, I got that 263 students are the ones who can be placed such that 263 can be placed in maximum of 7, okay, at max, who are part of exactly 7 activities. So if 7 max is 263, then what would be 8 min? If 7 max is 263, then 8 min will be 137. See, remember, in general, if you want to remember, when it is S plus D plus T plus F plus say P, whatever you are doing, whenever you want to say maximize this, you have to minimize the one which is just below this. Whenever you want to maximize this, you have to minimize this. The one, and they have alternate kind of conditions. So if I want to do 8 max, then I have to do 7 min. If I have to do 8 min, then I have to do 7 max. Okay? But if I am given 6 max, so here if 8, this is max, 8 is max, 7 is min, then correspondingly this will also become maximum as such. So again over here what we do is, every time we have to find the minimum or maximum, we try to find what is the minimum value we have to give to the higher value. So if I have to find what is 7 max, I try to minimize 8. When I have to find minimum value of here, I try to maximize the value that I give to 8. And 8 is basically that decides whether it is the maxima or minima. 8 max will tell you the minimum value of everything below it. 8 min will tell you the minimum maximum value of everything below it. Okay. So over here, when I was maximizing, what is the minimum value of 8? I maximized 7 because then I got the minimum value of 8. When we are asked, okay, if TT this is separate. For one, we are asked maximum value of 7. Maximum value of 7 corresponds to the minimum value of 8. Here, this is slightly different. Here, the issue is that we are asked the maximum value of 6 sets. When it is maximum value of 6 sets, the minimum value of 8 shifts for that. So, whatever is the maximum value for when it is this 8 min for 7 max, this no longer holds. Because this is when you are allowed to put people with 7 activities, who like 7 activities. But we are not going to put it in people who like 7 activities, right? We need people who like at most 6 activities. So we put 7, this value to be equal to 0. So we have people with 6 activities and then we have people with 8 activities. So if I minimize 8 activities, I will maximize the people with 6 activities. This is the idea over here. Wherever you have to maximize something, use 8 or the highest overlap as the ultimate maximum idea. Make everything else 0 other than the one that you are trying to maximize. Okay, that is the basic idea that you have to follow. Okay, anybody has any issues? Okay, we'll go to the next set. Okay, let's go to the next set. Okay, one thing that I would like to say, guys, is that please try to give mocks. For the guys who haven't given any mocks till now, or those who have given mocks and not given with a lot of seriousness, and those who are not Cracku users also, please do give our free mock tests. They have been given by a lot of students by now. So thousands of serious aspirants have taken our mock test. So please make sure that whatever happens, you take at least CAT free mock 1, 2 and 3. They have been taken by thousands of students and that will give you a very good idea of where you stand in the competition because every serious aspirant has taken it. Similarly, please make sure that you take the previous year's papers. I would always suggest that take it in the mock format. That is the best way to prepare. Because whatever, if you really want to know that are you prepared or not, this would be the ultimate decider. Because you can see your score, you can go and check where the percentile cutoffs were. You can be better prepared. You have better idea of what the competition will be if you take the previous year's papers in mock format. So the guys who have not done so till now, please take it. Don't wait any further. Okay. Okay. So let's go to this. Yeah, because I think you were near it. But I think in one set you made a small mistake, which is basically I think you misread one of the, sorry. Okay. This is the second set. Come on guys, try to solve this one. This is an easy one. I will give a small clue in the middle, but this is an easy one. I basically found it slightly difficult to start off with because I felt that without a clue you might get badly stuck. So if you get stuck, let me know, I will tell you the clue. Okay. Level of difficulty of 3 marks, it is exactly at CAT level, plus minus 1%. PDF for these questions will be available later on. Yes, we'll ask them to add them to the description box. Somebody asked, are Venn diagrams and maxima minima related? Yes, they are both set theory. But Venn diagrams is a way of solving set theory. It is like a method of solving where you draw a diagram. But it is not the only part or method of solving set theory. Essentially, there are two methods. One is Venn diagram. The other is the equation form, where you say S is like the part people who are part of only exactly one set. D is the part people who are part of exactly two sets and all. These are two complementary methods. One works in certain cases. This S plus D plus T method works in many cases. So based on if it is maxima minima, you should use the second method, which is basically the overlap. How many are part of one set? How many are part of two sets? Exactly 3 sets and so on. Whenever it is maxima minima, use that method. Whenever specific information is given, that okay, he is part of these two sets, this person is part of this set, or these many people are part of only these two sets. Whenever information is given in that type, then you have to draw the Venn diagram. At present, I can't able to prepare for CAT. I'm preparing for SNAP and ZAT. I have gone through the Cracku courses, but confused about whether to purchase SNAP or ZAT. I'm a beginner. I would say, Sai Ravi Teja, continue to prepare for CAT because for SNAP and ZAT also, the CAT preparation will help. I don't want you to not take an exam because of the fear of it. A lot of people are just afraid of CAT because it just seems like difficult, harder than the other exams. But the other exams are also hard. But if you actually prepare for CAT, you prepare for SNAP, ZAT also along with it, you will do better in all of the exams. If you don't prepare for CAT, it will affect the preparation for the other exams also. I would say that don't leave your preparation for CAT. Continue to prepare for CAT and give SNAP and ZAT along with it. ZAT anyway, you will have time after CAT to prepare for it. Right now, what I would say is that if you're preparing for SNAP and CAT together, SNAP requires a lot of quick calculation. So focus a lot on faster calculation. Also take a look at the VR part for SNAP, which is specific to SNAP, such as that there is grammar, there are different phrases, verbs, etc. So look at the specific part to SNAP, but it isn't that difficult. To do well in SNAP and to do well in CAT, there is a huge overlap, which is arithmetic, algebra, geometry. So if you're going to do that part, you might as well attempt both of the exams. VP, the CAT exam is not a exam of IQ. It is an exam of practice. If you practice 100 questions, you will get 1 question. If you practice 1,000 questions, you will get 10 questions. So no matter what your belief or confidence is, you will get the marks based on the number of questions you have solved, how many questions you have practiced, how many questions you have tried to solve independently. If you see somebody solve it, it will not help you. You try to solve it, you struggle, you fail, then see the video solution, you will learn something, you will actually grow. You do the struggle 100 times, you will definitely be able to solve at least one question in CAT mock. If you do this struggle at least 1000 times, you will be able to do it, you will be able to do 10 questions in CAT. So it is not how many questions you just solve, but how many questions that you struggle with, try, fail, and learn from. Surendra, I would say that many of the mocks are, say, some of them are harder, some of them are easier. There is no one difficulty level for CAT, so you can't say that, okay, this is difficulty level of CAT, this is not the difficulty level of CAT. Like the difficulty level of CAT itself is different. So I want you to be prepared for both of those cases, which is why if you see our CAT mocks, they are themselves a different difficulty level. So you have like I remember one dash cat where I scored like 19 or something in quant, and then there is one dash cat where I scored 53. So both of those are there, and that is because cat is like that. There'll be like easy cat sections, difficult cat sections. There'll be years when quant is very difficult. There'll be years where quant is very easy. So we have to prepare you for every single situation. With that, I would say that try to solve all of the dash cats. You will get some easy mocks, you will get some harder mocks. You will learn how to adjust to both of them. Because ultimately CAT 2025 is going to be a surprise. We don't know exactly how difficult it is going to be. So we have to prepare for both of those scenarios. Okay, if you can't see any of this part, just let me know, okay? Padma, if you start your preparation now and you give say 6 hours every single day, you can crack CAT. I would say that make sure that you are doing it in the smart way. I have just recorded a video for like a 4-month schedule. I have given the priority order of like what subjects you should do, what you should avoid doing, what you should not spend too much time doing, how many mocks you should take. I have given a detailed video. It will be released I think by Monday. Do take a look at that because that will give you like at least an action plan that you can follow. Another thing that I would say is that make sure that you do the important things well. So arithmetic is important, do it well. RC is important, so do it well. Put a lot of time and effort into it. DILR, puzzles, arrangements, tables, charts are important, so do it well. Then you can crack CAT. If you do the important things well and the others okayishly, you will be able to crack CAT. Okay, they have put the link also, so you can take a look at that, Padma. That will help you if you are starting now, how you can crack CAT. That's fine, Yasir. Even I panic at times. The idea should always be that you should feel that I should panic lesser than the next person. I feel that if I tell myself that I am actually somebody who doesn't panic, I will panic lesser. If I tell myself that I have a tendency to panic, I will panic more. So I want you to tell yourself from now on that I don't panic. I can hold my nerve. I can hold my nerve better than the other person. If you tell that to yourself again and again, you will actually believe it. If you believe it, it will actually happen in CAT. If you tell yourself that I'm going to panic, you're going to panic because your body expects that to happen. So you will actually follow through with it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So tell yourself that you won't panic and tell that yourself to yourself every single day that you have full control over your nerves. You're going to not panic. You are going to be the person who will hold his nerve when others panic. So you tell that to yourself daily, you will actually do better. Okay. Many of you guys have answered. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, first question, please. Why is this not moving? Okay, this is the first question. I see a lot of correct answers, but some question people have gotten the incorrect answer for the last question. So guys, check your last question, but many of you have gotten the correct answers already. I would say that for DILR, take the see the marathon, try to solve the videos yourself, solve the questions yourself, and also solve the important sets PDF, because basically the video is part practice. How many sets? It's 6 sets, but you need like 50-60 sets. So no video can alone give you enough practice. If you download the PDFs and solve the like 50-60 sets by yourself, that would be enough practice. Okay. Ansh, I would say that I think the last 55 seconds. Come on, guys, those who have not marked the answers or who have not told the answers, tell it. See, Ansh, what I would say is that if you are struggling with close options in VRC, what I always tell is that suppose you have eliminated everything and you are now confused between A and B. Eliminate everything which is like C and D is eliminated. Now I'm going to reread A and B carefully, because in my first reading of the options, I might have missed something that I didn't like. I just went through the option without understanding some word, some phrase, some meaning, some implication. So I'm going to read both of these carefully. Now between A and B, I'm going to remove parts that are common. That okay, this is and this is there. Both are essentially the same. They are one way of rephrasing, or like they indicate the same thing. They are differently phrased, but they are the same thing as such. Then I will look at the differences. This is say difference. This is different. Then I will first think that what should the right answer contain? The right answer should contain something. If something is different, it is necessary and that's why it's part of the right answer. If it is unnecessary, it should not be part of the right answer. The correct option will be exactly right. It will not have anything extra, unnecessary things it will not be having. So if something is different, ask yourself, is this necessary to get to the right answer? Okay, this difference is necessary. Then A is more likely to be the answer. Then look at this different part. Look at this difference and see whether there is any distortion in it. Is there something wrong with this particular part? Then you will realize, okay, this difference is distorted. This difference is necessary. So then you will be able to pick the right answer. Okay. Okay. I think most of you have been able to answer this. This was an easier set. What did you guys think? Easier, harder? What did you think? I think this was easier. I thought some might struggle, but most of you didn't struggle actually. I think many of you were able to do this fast enough. So let's see how to solve this set. Okay, so we are given, okay. There are 10 cities A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. These cities are located in two states of Palan and Rahat, such that each state has 5 cities. So there is Palan, which has 5 cities. There is Rahat, which has 5 cities. Okay. Each city is connected to 3 other cities by of the other state by either air, sea, or road. And every city has exactly one connection by each of air, sea, and road. So there are like for every city, there are like connection. One city is connected to 3 places, once by air, once by road, once by sea. And there are 5 of which 3 will be connected. So if I consider that, okay, if it is 5, for each of the 3 cities, there are 3 cities corresponding between Palan and Rahat, and each of the connection methods are unique. No city is connected to any other city except through ASC and road routes, and there exists only one connection between any 2 connected cities. The following information is known. BMAS is connected to INTES via air. So BMA and INTES have to be in different slots because they are connected. One city is connected to another city of the other state, which in turn is connected to Dhera via road. So BMA and Dhera are in the same this because INTES is connected to BMA and INTES is connected to Dhera. So BMA and Dhera are in the same state and INTES is in another state. Faman is connected to Jamad via sea, but it is not connected to Chuhulul, which in turn is in the same state as which is not in the same state as Faman is. So Faman and Chulul are not in the same state. Faman is connected to Jamad. So Jamad and Chulul will have to be in the same state. Dera and Aura are in the same state, and from these 2 cities, there is no route to each either city Emery or Jamaat. Both of these are present in different state to the one Aura is in. Bimas, which is in Palan, is not connected to city Chuhul, which belongs to a different state. So at least I found which one clue which tells me which is in Palan, which is in Rahat. So let's start with 4. So this tells me B is in Palan and C is in Rahat, which is in a different state. Now I can figure out which is in which state. So that is my first task. Bimas is connected to Intes via air. So Intes has to be in Rahat because connection is between two cities of different states. And Intes is connected to Dera, so Dera is over here. Faman is connected to Jamaat and it is not connected to Chulul, and Faman is not in the same state as Chulul. So if C is over here, F is over here, Faman is connected to Jamaat, so J is over here. Dera and Aura are in the same state and these are not connected to E or J, and these are in different state of as Aura. So that would mean that D and A are in the same state and F, J and E are in different states as such. So E and J are not connected to Dera and Aura, which are in one state. Dera and Aura in one state, E and J are in one state. They are two different states as such. Bimas, and this is in Palan, this is in Chulul. So if I see in any of the options, I do not have a single mention of Giltech or High-Tech. If Giltech and High-Tech are not mentioned, it basically means they cannot be uniquely determined. So I will have to always say this is G or H or G. Remember, in general, whenever in any arrangement, if a person is not given, anything is not given about a person, place, etc., it will always lead to multiple possibilities. Because only if I identify, if there are two people like G and H or two places G and H, इनके बारे में कुछ नहीं दिया है, it cannot lead to a unique case because they can always be swapped interchangeably. So G and H will always be interchangeable in these kind of configurations. So therefore we have this is the split. So BDFA are in Palan, CIJE are in Rahat, and one of G and H is in Palan, the other is in Rahat. Now I have to figure out not just that they are like different states, but what is the connection between them. So if I was trying to figure out the connection, I know that for each link from Palan to Rahat, for every city there should be 3 such that there is one air, one road and one sea. And for every in Rahat there should be 3 such that it is one air, one road and one sea. So this sounds like, okay, there should be 3 and there should be 2 blanks, that it is not connected. This kind of sounds like a 5 by 5 Sudoku in a way, where there should be 2 X's and one air, one road and one sea. So I'll make my table and I'll try to find the links between the 5 cities to the other 5 cities of the other state such that there is row wise uniqueness, there is column wise uniqueness, because one city is connected to one state using one mode and that mode will not be repeated because there has to be one air, one road and one sea. Similarly, there has to be row wise uniqueness and column wise uniqueness also, because for the other city also it has to be unique. So this is say this is B, D, F, A and this is say G or H. Okay, and over here we have C, we have I, we have J, we have E and we have H or G. Suppose these are our connections. Now let us try to figure out who is air, who is road and who is sea. Whenever I am not able to figure out, whenever I am able to figure out, I put R, A or S in this particular table. Okay, and whenever they are not connected, I am going to put an X. So the first is Bimas is connected to Intes by air. So I am going to put air over here, A over here, which in turn is connected to Dera by road. So this is our Dera and Intes are connected by road. We have Faman is connected to Jamaat by C. So Faman is connected to Jamaat by C, but it is not connected to Shulul. So X, which in turn is not in the same state as Faman is in. That is fine, we have figured that out. Dera and Aura are in the same state, and from each of these 2 cities there is no route either to Emery or Jamaat. So A and D is not connected. So these 2 are not connected to Emery or Jamaat, and even A is not connected to Emery or Jamaat, both of which are present in different state. Bimas is in Palan, it is not connected to Chulul. So this is also not there. and which is in a different state. So this is the table according to the information given. Now I have something which is like a Sudoku. I've tried to fill it as much as possible based on the information that is given. I know that for every column there will be 2 x's, for every row there will be 2 x's. So once the 2 x's are filled, I can say that everything else has to be there. So this has to be connected, this has to be connected because our 2 x's are already done. Similarly, these 3 have to be connected. This over here in C's column, this has to be connected because 2 x's are done. Similarly, over here, this has to be connected. This has to be connected because 2 x's are done. This has to be connected. This has to be connected. This has to be connected because 2 x's are done in our E's column. So over here, A is connected. These 2 are definitely there because J and E's 2 x's are done. So this has to be X. Why? Because 3 yeses are already done. So these 2 are no. This is a tick. This is a tick. This is a tick. This is a tick. So because of that, this has to be, the connection between B and H and G has to be a cross. Similarly, what else can I say? If I have filled till now, anything else I can say about the cross? Okay, over here, this is a tick. This is a tick over here. So A, R and this is a tick. So these 2 are crosses. Now for Famad also, I can say F also. These 2 are X's. So this is also a tick. This is a tick. This is a tick. This is a tick. So this has to be a cross. So at least I know who are connected and who are definitely not connected. So I know that B and C are not connected, B and H and G are not connected, D and J are not connected, D and E are not connected, F is not connected to C and I, A is not connected to J and E, G and H are not connected to I and H and G. So this, at least the crosses I have been able to fill. Now my second job is to try to fill whether it is A, R or S. Let's consider int S. A is filled, R is filled. So this tick has to be S because each one of them has to come exactly once in the row and in the column, which means that this is ARS. What else can I fill? Is there something else that I can fill? Consider for B, okay? Here this is road or C and this is C or road. But wait, C is already there. J is already connected by C to F, which means that this has to be road, this has to be C. If this is road, this is C, this has to be air. Okay. Let's see what else can I fill. Is there anything else that I can fill by the same logic? Over here, consider Emery and G and H. A is there in this row already, S is there already in this column, which means R is the only one that can fit. If I put S, it will conflict with the column. If I put A, it will conflict with the row. So this is R over here, which means that this is S over here. Okay, S is put in every row other than one row, which is D's row. D cannot be connected to Chulul by C because Chulul is connected to G or H by C, which means that this is S. So I have filled S completely. S has been placed in every row. Now let me see, can I put A in every column and every row? Over here, consider for Emery. S is there, R is there. So this missing value has to be A. If S is there, A is there, this missing value has to be R. If S is there, R is there, this missing value has to be A. If S is there, A is there, this missing value has to be R. If S is there, R is there, this missing value has to be A. So as you can see, like Sudoku, I filled the whole table up. Now we can go and answer the question. This is not a difficult set, right? Okay, now let's see how we can answer the question. Which of the following 2 cities are connected by air? So we have Aura and Chulul. Aura and Chulul are connected by road. Faman and Giltek. Faman and Giltek are, if it is G, it is still connected by road. Dera and Chulul are connected by air. So this is correct. According to the table, we can see it is connected by air. Cannot be determined is not the answer because it is there. Aura and Jamaat are connected by which of the following? A and J. A and J are not connected. It is X over here, which means they are not connected. It is option D. For how many cities can we determine that the state they belong to? Other than G and H, we can find out for every other city. So of the 10 cities, you remove 2 cities, you have 8 cities for which we can tell the state. If the city Giltek is connected to the city Emery, so Giltek is over here, it is connected to city Emery. So G is over here, which means that H is over here. Then which of the following connects Dera to High Tech? Dera to High Tech is by C, which is A. So the correct option here is A. So our answer is option A. Okay, anybody has any this? I know a lot of people had a question by, a lot of people said it is cannot be determined. I don't know why you got cannot be determined, because if I tell the minute I say Giltech is in Emery, it has to be, G has to be over here, because cities are only connected when they are in opposite states. So when I can then uniquely determine G and H, right? Good job, the guys who got 4 on 4. Very good reason, very good thala for a reason. 3 out of 4, Vikas, well done. Try to do all of these sets perfectly. If you have put the time, I want you to get full marks for it. Okay, so let's go to the next set. Okay, guys who are actually starting to prepare and who want like start with their practice and who want more practice, we have a very nice tool for practice which is called as a QuantRush. So QuantRush is basically a feature of our study room. In our study room, basically we have a huge question bank of a very good high quality questions. Many of them have video solution, all of them have good text solution as such. So in this question bank, we added this feature of QuantRush, which is basically a way of solving a lot of questions. So you can then search and say that, okay, I want to do arithmetic questions only today. I want to do geometry questions today or any other questions. You will get all the questions from that particular topic, and you can continue to solve till you get 3 questions wrong. The minute you get 3 questions wrong, your QuantRush ends. So the point over here is that I want you guys to solve such that your accuracy is very good. You are incentivized to solve correctly. Now, for the guys who are our premium members, you guys already know about this. For anybody who has a package knows about this already. But for the guys who have not bought Cracku, still we are giving a limited number of questions for free. So do check it out. Search for Cracku QuantRush on Google. You will get to the QuantRush page. There are some free questions that are added to each one of these. You can practice them, and that is basically very good high quality questions that you can add to your practice. Okay. So let's go to the next set. This is a fun set. I felt I like this set. And it's not a difficult set. I expect all of you to be able to solve it. Okay. This is new set. This is not PYQ of any this. Sometimes we do use PYQs, but it is not the PYQ. We haven't used PYQ in this particular, I think at least I have not used in this stream. Okay guys. The road wala last set, okay, maybe C road wala last set, okay, might have been, is it previous year's papers? I don't think so, because I think I saw who made it. I don't think it was a previous year's paper, but might be the case. Is truth and liar an important set? There's a small chance that it can come. See, basically, I'll tell you the important sets are arrangement, the puzzles, arrangement and puzzles are most important. Then is tables and charts. After tables and charts, we have, I'd say, scheduling, 2D space LRs, quant puzzles, games and tournaments, and Venn diagram and set theory. These are the second level most important sets. Third level most important sets are team selection, routes and networks, anything which is left over at this point of time, which is like miscellaneous miscellaneous LR as in like you have those quant puzzles as such, right? When you have number puzzles, all of those can come over here. I would say the probability of truth liar is the same as the probability of, like, half the probability of even team selection. There's a low probability, but it can happen. Okay, let's see the last two questions also. Okay, third and fourth. So all of the information is actually encapsulated over here. So you can see the full set instructions, but the questions I have moved up. Guys, just 30 more likes left. If you haven't liked yet, please like the stream. It helps us quite a bit in reaching more students. We'll have more of these marathons if we have more likes. Okay, in the last set, by first reading, I thought it was roots and networks. It happens to me in games and tournaments also. I feel it is GNT, but it turns out to be a puzzle. What to do? I'd say that, see, basically finding out the right way of representing often is very difficult. It's difficult to figure out what exactly you have to do in these cases. Whenever I'm confused, I always feel that if I'm confused, I'll draw a table. That table can get messy, but tables generally work. Whenever information, if I start tabulating the information, no, it generally works. So if you get confused, that should I make, what should I do, how should I approach, should I draw a root or should I draw this? Even again, if I had started with this and I had started drawing the root, right, it would have gotten messy very quickly, because 5 into 3, all of that would have gotten very messy very quickly. When in doubt, draw a table. That is my this belief. Whenever it becomes messy, you are not able to figure out what is happening over here, draw a table. Okay, anytime you get stuck, you feel that this method of representation is not working, what should I do? Draw a table, okay? I haven't given much marks till now. How many marks should I write? Just want to cross 95 percentile in CAT. I would say, Atharva, try to write 8 marks. There are 4 weeks. Try to do 2 marks per week. Between the marks, try to solve as many questions. Try to identify where you are not doing well and just practice from those areas again and again. Then give another mark. See whether you are improving in that section or not. Till now, I watched basic also, not revised the videos. Didn't do the PYQ also. Should I buy mocks now or go about my prep? It's okay, Monica. What I would say is that see the basic videos, see the marathons that are there. Also, I would say that start with mocks, buy some mocks, because without mocks, it becomes very difficult to actually get prepared for CAT. You have to have at least, like, you have to solve at least 10 mocks before the CAT this. 10 mocks plus previous year's papers as questions, previous year's papers as mocks. So try to start, you can start with the previous year's papers as mocks for now. But after you're done through, like if you've gone through all of them and you have like practiced done with all of them, then go and buy mocks. So then you can say that, okay, I have already exhausted every free resource that is there, then you can go and buy mocks. And you need mocks, okay? You should not go to CAT without giving at least 10 mocks. Okay. Maxima and minima is under Venn diagram set theory, but it is under set theory. So set theory has Venn diagrams, set theory has maxima minima. Venn diagrams and maxima minima don't go well. People who start trying to do maxima minima with Venn diagrams get very badly stuck. You should not do Venn diagrams over there, because there you have to basically figure out the level of overlap, the number of overlap, rather than who or individual number in each set as such. Whenever I don't have to figure out exactly the number of people who are there only in physics, only in chemistry, only in particular set, then I don't draw a Venn diagram. When I have to figure out set-wise number of people, then I draw a Venn diagram. Okay. How to tackle agree-disagree questions in RC, author's position as such. SD, we have some videos on that. You can see on our YouTube channel also. I think we have it. In general, you have to understand the author's position, the author's emotions. So if the author is basically giving, persuading about something, if it's a persuasive RC, what is his core position? Anything that attacks his core position would be out of line. Anything that is in line with his core position would be the correct answer. If it is an analytical RC, the author has given multiple takes. So you have to then go back and reread the different opinions he has given, different logic he has given, then eliminate the answers. Okay, a lot of people have first question, please. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. 1C, 2D, 3E, and okay. So some of you have gotten the right answer. Quite a few of you have gotten the right answer. So good job to, let me see who got it first. I think Sankalp got it first, but Sankalp didn't write the whole thing. So I think I can't see Sankalp's first answer, but I think Sankalp got it first, correct. Then we have Akriti also who got it correct. Divakar, I think authentic, and Vikas got all correct. Akriti all correct, Hemant all correct, authentic all correct. Okay, guys, most of you have gotten it correct. Thala for a reason all correct. Very good job. Okay, many of you have gotten it correct. All very well done, guys. Okay, I think the time is up. So let's see how to solve this set. Okay, so Hercule Poirot is an excellent detective. Once he was traveling on a train and he met 4 friends, Ram, Sham, Mohan and Nanda. The 4 friends wanted to test Hercule's intelligence. Each of the 4 friends gave 3 statements regarding which he had information about cars owned by them, the city they are from, and what type of statements each friend is stating. It is known that each one of them owns a different car among these and also is from a different city. So we have to figure out what type of a person they are, that whether they are truth teller, liar, alternator, which city they are from, and what type of car that they drive. So as always, what helps quite a bit is making a table. So I will make a table over here for the cases that come. So we have how many people? We have 4 people: Ram, Sham, Mohan and Nanda. We'll have to figure out what kind of a person they are, what city they are from, and what car they drive. So this is person, city, car. Any extra information that I might have, I'll put it over here. Okay. So let us see. So one of the friends spoke only truth, one of them spoke only lie, and other 2 alternated between the statements, that is a lie and a truth. So 2 alternators, 1 truth teller. So among these 4, there is 1 truth teller, 1 liar, and 2 alternators. Okay. So these are the statements. I am the liar. I own a Honda Civic car. I am from Delhi. Sham says Mohan is a liar. Nanda owns a Honda City. I am from Hyderabad. Mohan says Sham is a liar. Nanda is from Delhi. I own a Alto. Mohan owns a Wagoner. Mohan is from Hyderabad. Ram owns a Honda Civic. So if I consider this, I have to basically first figure out who is the truth teller. If I figure out the truth teller, everything else becomes much easier. It becomes easier to figure out who the liar is. It becomes easier to figure out the person who is the alternator, everything. If I look at the statements, first starts with Ram says, I am the liar. If Ram says, I am the liar, can he be the truth teller? Is it possible for the truth teller to tell that I am the liar? No. So he is not the truth teller also. Can he be the liar? He cannot be the liar. Why is he not the liar? Because if he was lying and he said, I am the liar, that will become true. So he is not the liar, he is not the truth teller, which means that Ram has to be the alternator. If he is the alternator, he calls himself a liar, which means what? That this is a lie, which means that the next statement has to be true. He does own a Honda Civic car, which means that this is also a lie. He is not from Delhi. Now, if I own a Honda Civic car is true, that means that this statement, Nanda statement, Ram owns a Honda Civic car becomes true, which means that Mohan owns a Wagoner can be true, because if Nanda is telling one statement true, that means that he is either an alternator or a truth teller. So that means that this is definitely true in both cases. Then it is the only place where it will be that okay, if Nanda is a truth teller, all 3 statements are true. If Nanda is an alternator, if this statement is true, this statement is also true. Now if this statement is true, if Mohan owns a Wagoner, then what can we say? Shamil is a liar. If Mohan definitely owns a Wagoner, I own a Alto becomes a lie. So if this is the case, see, Nanda is not the liar. This guy, Mohan, is not the truth teller. So it is either between Sham and Nanda. One of these is a liar, one of these is a alternator, one of these is a truth teller. Mohan is definitely not the truth teller, because when he says I own an Alto, it is a lie. So now we have to decide between Sham and Nanda, who is the truth teller. Okay, so we have 2 cases, Sham is the truth teller or Nanda is the truth teller. So let's consider both cases. We'll start with say Sham is the truth teller. If Sham is the truth teller, Mohan is the liar. Then if Mohan is the liar, Sham is the truth teller, Nanda becomes an alternator, and we know already Ram is an alternator. Okay, so with this particular perspective, let us see their statements, because if we know that okay, Sham is the truth teller, we know that Mohan is the liar. Nanda owns Honda City. So that would mean that this is city car. Then we know that he is from Hyderabad. So Sham is from Hyderabad. Over here we can put Hyderabad. If Mohan is a liar, Sham is the liar is obviously lies. Nanda is from Delhi is also a lie. So this means that this guy is not from Delhi. It will be some non-Delhi city. And I own an Alto is also a lie, because we know that Mohan does own a Wagoner. We also know that Ram owns a Honda Civic, because it has to be true, because otherwise he'll be the liar, which means that our truth teller owns a Alto. Okay, now let's consider what happens. So this, at least we have figured out everybody's cars. Now this is based on Shyam's statements. So we have been able to use Shyam statements. For known statements, we know that Shyam is not the liar, Nanda is not from Delhi, and he does not own an Alto. From Nanda's statements, Mohan owns a Wagon-R. Yes, that is true. Mohan is from Hyderabad. That is a false because Shyam is from Hyderabad. Ram owns a Honda Civic. That is also true. From Ram's statements, Ram is an alternator. So he's a liar. He owns a Honda Civic. He's from Delhi. That is a lie, which means that he is not from Delhi. So neither Nanda nor Ram are from Delhi, which means that Mohan is from Delhi. So we can say that these two are from Bangalore or Chennai in some particular order. So now I have everybody's city, at least two of their city, the other two we have to figure out, and I have everybody's car. So this is the case when Shyam is the truth teller. Let's consider when Nanda is the truth teller. Let's say the same thing, if Nanda is the truth teller, what happens? I will make the same table, but now I will consider the case that Nanda is the truth teller. So over here we have Ram, Shyam, Mohan and Nanda. So we have now the condition that we have Ram is the alternator, Nanda is the truth teller. Now we have Mohan is saying Shyam is a liar and Shyam is saying Mohan is a liar. One of these is the liar, the other is an alternator. Now suppose Shyam is this is definitely a lie. So that would mean that Shyam being a liar is also a lie. Because if this is a lie and we know that, okay, he can be a full, he has to be an alternator. So if this is a lie, this is definitely a lie. Because he is not a truth teller at least. So if this is a lie, this is definitely a lie. So Shyam is not a liar. That would mean Shyam is an alternator and Mohan is a liar. If Mohan is a liar, Shyam's first statement is true. Okay. So this is what I can tell for now. So let's try to fill the table from this particular information that we have. Ram says I am the liar. That's a lie. I own Honda Civic City car. So that is true, Civic car. And he's from Delhi is a lie. He's not from Delhi. Let's consider the second case. Mohan is a liar is true. Nanda owns Honda City. It is not true. So he doesn't own City. Then you say that he's from Hyderabad. That happens to be true because this is the true part. Okay. Now we start with Shyam is a liar. That is false because he's the alternator. Nanda is from Delhi has to be true. So this is Delhi. Then he says I own an Alto. So he doesn't own an Alto. Okay. Then we go to Nanda. Nanda is the truth teller. So Nanda says this guy owns a Wagon-R. He says that Mohan is from Hyderabad. How is that possible? How can two people be from Hyderabad? If Mohan is the liar, I am from Hyderabad statement of Shyam is true, which means that Mohan cannot be from Hyderabad. So we reach a contradiction, which means that this case cannot happen. This is the only case that we have. So we can remove this case. This is not a valid case. So we get one final case. So we know that Shyam is truth teller, Mohan is the liar, Nanda and Ram are the alternators. Now we can answer the question, which of the following statements, if true, would help Mr. Hercule determine all of the information? Nanda speaks the truth. That is against what we know. Nanda does not speak the truth. He is an alternator. Shyam is from Delhi. Shyam is definitely not from Delhi. Ram is from Chennai. Now if Ram is from Chennai, I can say that this confusion that is there, Bangalore or Chennai, that will be resolved. So if Ram is from Chennai, I can give you a final table that this will be Chennai, this will be Bangalore. So yes, if that statement is true, option C is true, then I can determine all of this information. Ram owns a Honda Civic. I already know that. So that is not helpful information. So other than the first option C, there is nothing which is adding information and completing the picture. The second question is, which of the following statement is not necessarily true? Ram owns a Honda Civic is necessarily true. Ram is not from Delhi, also necessarily true. Mohan is a liar, also necessarily true. Either Nanda or Mohan is from Chennai. No, not true. Either Nanda or Ram is from Chennai. So Ram can be from Chennai. This is not necessarily true. So option D is the correct answer. The third question is, which car is owned by the person who always spoke the truth? The truth teller is Shyam and he owns an Alto. So it is option A. And how many cases are possible based on the above inputs? We see two cases are possible based on the placement of the city of Ram and Nanda. So 2 cases are possible. So this was, I think, a easier set, not a very difficult set. But I hope that you guys are able to solve these kind of sets when they come in exam. Many of the sets are not super difficult, but a lot of students are basically scared of them. So be more confident. These type of sets will also come, and you should be able to solve them. Okay. So let's go to the next. This Maruti is going to take the last set.
Okay, guys, I'll look at the questions. But before that, I wanted to tell you about the Cracku call predictor, which we have launched. I mentioned it in many of my streams. We have put a lot of RTIs to get the actual information and updated our predictor to be as close as we can. Definitely do check it out. We have like a couple of guys who are working only on this AM call predictor, and they're doing a fantastic job. Every day, hundreds of people are actually checking. It will basically ease your anxiety. That is basically the reason we did it. The more transparency there is there, the more information there is there, the less will be the anxiety. And we built it for that particular case. You have to just Google search Cracku AM call predictor for you to go to this page. You have to just enter all of your details, and then you will get the percentile that you need to get a call. Having said that, let us go to the next set. This is a set, an interesting set, and I will switch on the timer also. Yeah, I think, yeah. So try to get the set done, and once you read all these questions and all, I will put once you read the group instructions, I'll put the questions afterwards. Guys, please do like the stream. We didn't still hit our 400 like target. Our target for today, like I mentioned many times, is 400 likes. So we are still around 12 likes lesser than that. Please do like the stream, guys, so that we can hit our target. We have more than 130 people who are watching our stream live. So we can easily get 12 more likes to cross 400. Once you solve it, let me know, guys. I'll post the questions. Okay, Nishan, I'll ask Sayali to check it out about the 4 cases. Please post whatever doubt you have in the comment after we finish the stream. Then she will reply to you. I'm going to lift it here. Yeah. Atharva Shirke is saying, sir, okay, I have done most of the previous year's questions, did algebra and arithmetic. I have given 5 marks. I should write 8 more. Okay, don't put a strict hard deadline that, okay, I have to write X number of marks. Try to take marks consistently, regularly, and try to improve upon it. It should be a habit. It should not be like a chore. You should not feel that, okay, I have to take 8 more marks. It should be that, okay, I'm taking a mark to figure out where I'm lacking to improve my exam strategy. Pratik Purohit is saying 8th point can't see properly. Okay, I'll just lift it a little. Let me know if you can see the point now. Not fully visible, move it to the right. That is what I can do, man. I can't do much other than that. What is it that you want? Which I'll just read it out if you have any. Which point? Do let me know if you finish it. I again started the timer, so I won't give the entire time. But yeah. Okay, guys, last 3 minutes. After that, I'll explain the question. Okay, sorry. Okay, guys, I'll start the explanation in another 30 seconds. So try to finish it off before that. Shivani Murthy is saying, I get 70 percentile now, 24, 2015. What should I do to get 90 percentile? I have a Cracku course, please get. I would say focus on quant. You seem to be scoring 15 marks in quant. So focus on quant. Try to get very good at arithmetic and algebra. And try to finish the syllabus in the sense that even if you get a easy question from topics you're not comfortable with. Suppose there is a very simple question from, say, permutations and combinations. You should get it correct. Even if you are not getting medium level questions or hard level questions correct in the other topics, in any topic, if you're getting a very simple question, you should be able to answer it. That I think should be the goal right now. Be very good at arithmetic. If time permits, be very good at algebra and geometry. And if time doesn't permit, at least be very good at arithmetic. But in any case, complete the syllabus so that if a easy question comes from any topic, you are actually getting it correct. That I think should be the strategy. Okay guys, let me answer this question. So yeah, what we are basically told is that there are 5 friends. Their names are Ram, Yogesh, Brajesh, Vani and Ghanshyam. They live in the same multi-storied building. The bottommost floor is numbered 1 and so on. Each of them occupies a distinct floor but not necessarily the first 5 floors. So basically they can live on the 8th floor, 10th floor, any floor, but there is an order. They own bottles of different color, red, yellow, blue, violet, green, again not necessarily in the same order. And in their bottles they have different drinks between Manta, Cola, Taxa, Depsi and Namta. So basically this is an arrangements question. We should basically have 5 rows for the 5 friends. Let me say this is how it is. First will be the floor number, the second will be the name of the friend, third will be the color of their drink and fourth will be the name of their drink. We don't know the floor because the floors we are told are not necessarily consecutive. They are not in the first 5 floors. But let us assume that there is either something called a rank, that is amongst these 5 friends we are trying to find out who is the bottom, who is in the middle, or something like say a level. So basically we are using this to just figure out the hierarchy, the order in which they are actually there. Who is the bottommost amongst these 5 friends? Who is the topmost amongst these 5 friends? So we'll put this as level. This is basically the rank according to the floor. We have the name of the guy, we have the color of the drink, and we have the drink name. And we need to have 5 people. So this will be the floor, 1 floor, this is another floor, 2, this is 3, this is 4 and 5. I think this should suffice. This will be the guy who is at the top, 5th level. Again, this guy might not be in the 5th floor, but he can be in the 10th floor. But amongst the 5 friends, he is at the top. Then we have 4, we have 3, we have 2, and we have 1. And we'll try to use this. We'll go through all the clues. We'll try to fill the table to the best of our ability. We'll come back and we'll reiterate. That is basically the plan. Now, for any friend, the starting alphabet of the name and the starting alphabet of the color of the bottle he owns is not the same. So basically, we know that the names are Ram. So Ram is not having a red color bottle. The second guy is Yogesh. Yogesh doesn't have a yellow colored bottle. I just write it down because then I know if any clue comes, I know that okay, this is a clue that I have to use. Then for Brajesh, Brajesh is not in the, I think, is it blue or black? Brajesh is blue. So this guy is not in the blue bottle. Then we have Vani. Vani is not having the violet colored bottle. And finally we have Ghanshyam. Ghanshyam is not having the green colored bottle. This is what we know. Now Brajesh lives exactly above 1 friend. So Brajesh has to live on the 2nd level. This guy has to be Brajesh. So the color of the bottle is not blue. I'm just writing it down so that I won't miss it out. This I have completely used up this clue, so I'll put a cross over here so that when I'm reiterating, I don't need to come back to that clue. Number of friends living between cola and violet colored bottle is the same as the number of friends living between the red bottle owner and the yellow bottle owner. This number is greater than 0. So basically what we are told is that there is cola somewhere between cola and the violet colored bottle. How many number of friends are staying, whatever this number is, which is greater than 0, so at least 1 friend is staying, is equal to red and yellow bottle. So we'll have red and yellow. Both of them have the same number of friends, which is greater than 0. I'll just write it down so that I'll remember it. Cola is in the blue colored bottle. So cola, the color of the bottle is blue. Cola that we discussed here is in the blue colored bottle. So now you can see that there are actually in this particular clue, there are 4 colors: blue, violet, red and yellow. And Ghanshyam lives above all of his friends. So Ghanshyam lives at the top. This guy is Ghanshyam. and Ghanshyam is not green. Just writing it down here to avoid any confusion. This we have used. Cola also is in the blue color. Maybe I can put it across, but it's okay. The friend who has the red bottle and the friend who drinks namta have 3 friends between them. If you have 3 friends between them, they have to be 4, 3 and 2. So one of them should be at the top, one of them should be at the bottom. So either the red colored bottle is at the top and the guy who drinks namta is at the bottom. This is 1 and 5. Or it is the other way around, where it is red is at the bottom and namta is at the top. I'll just write it down because one of these two has to happen. Number of friends below the Taksa drinker is the same as the number of friends staying above the yellow bottle. So once you have Taksa, number of friends who are below Taksa is same as the number of friends who are above yellow. Ram drinks cola and is above the Depsi drinker. So Ram is again over here. I would definitely want to identify what is the place of this bottle because there are so many clues about it. We know that it is Ram, the color of the bottle is blue and the drink inside it is cola, and there is also some association with respect to violet. So definitely I am looking to try to solve that because most of the set will be solved if I get it correct. The friend who drinks manta and the friend who has a green bottle have 3 friends between them. So again this is the same as this particular clue. So this would also imply that either the manta guy is at the top, in which case the green bottle is at the bottom. This is 5 and this is 1. Or the green guy is at the top, green bottle guy, and manta is at the bottom. One of these two has to happen. So now we can actually identify 1 and 5. It has to be either red or green in some order. Now if you go to the top, we know that Ghanshyam is at the top and Ghanshyam doesn't have green colored bottle. So this would imply that this bottle has to be red in color and therefore the namta drink has to be at the bottom. So this has to be namta and green has to be at the bottom. This is green and this has to be manta. Let me go through the clues so that I know what are the clues I used up. The friend who drinks manta and the green bottle, this I've completely used up. There is no point in reiterating through this. Friend who drinks red bottle, this also we have completely used up. So again I'll put a cross. Now if I'm going to the top, for any friend starting alphabet, this maybe I will have to use again. So I won't put a cross. Starting alphabet and starting alphabet of the color. Number of friends between cola and violet bottle is the same as the number of friends between red bottle owner and the yellow bottle owner. Number is greater than 0. So this is what I was discussing earlier. I would definitely want to identify where this Ram, blue and cola guy can actually come. What I do know is that blue and violet also have to be separated by greater than 0 and that difference has to be same as red and yellow. So let me try to identify those colors. Blue cannot be in the second floor. Can blue be in the third floor? Can this be blue? If this is blue, where will violet come? Violet will be either here or here because only 2, 3, 4 are left. 5 is red and 1 is green. But we know that between blue and violet, there is at least one floor that is given to us. This would imply that 3 cannot be blue. 2 is not blue, 3 is not blue because if 3 is blue, violet will come either at 4 or at 2 and then there will be no person who is in between them. So 3 also is not blue. This would imply that this has to be blue. This person has to be, it is Ram, right? Yeah, this is Ram and this is cola. Let me erase this. And this. So now I know that cola is in the blue colored bottle. I'll cross this also off. Ram drinks cola also I will erase, but Ram is above the Depsi drinker. So Depsi has to be one of these two. And that is fine because we know that Ram is anyways above them. So this also I'll cross off. Number of friends below the taxa driver is the drinker is the same as the number of friends who are above the yellow bottle. So now I need to figure out taxa and yellow over here. That is one clue I have to use. And the other clue I have to use is the number of friends between cola and violet. Yeah, I think this is the clue I can use because there are four colors like we discussed earlier. We have blue, violet. Both of them are equidistant. Blue and violet are equidistant as compared to red and yellow. This is what we discussed. It is one of the clues. So if you think about it, where will violet come? The only way this will work is if this is red and this has to be yellow, they are separated by 1 and this is violet. Now if you are trying to figure out where is the taxa guy, the number of friends who are above yellow is 2. So the number of friends below taxa also has to be 2. This would imply that basically yellow guy has to be taxa drinker. And therefore this has to be the last one, which is Depsy. Now we need to just identify the names of the people who are in the third level and the first level. The two names that are left are Yogesh and Vani. Yogesh cannot be drinking a yellow bottle, so this has to be Yogesh. And this has to be Vani. Let us now try to answer the questions that follow. If Ram is on the 8th floor, so this is on the 8th floor, Ram, and Brijesh is on the 3rd floor. This guy is on the 3rd floor, okay. In how many ways the friends who live in between them can occupy the building floor? There's only one friend in between them and that is Vani. Now Vani has to lie between the 3rd floor and the 8th floor. So Vani can either go to 4th, 5th, 6th or 7th floors. So the total number of ways it can be done is 4 ways. If the building has an overall of 12 floors, what is the maximum number of floors between the cola drinker and the taxa drinker? Cola drinker, if there are 12 floors and we are trying to maximize the number of floors between these two, this is what we are trying to maximize. We will say that Ghansham is on the 12th floor, cola guy Ram is on the 11th floor, and we want to maximize the distance, so we will say that Yogesh is on the 1st floor, Brijesh is on the 2nd floor, Vani is on the 3rd floor, and the gap between these two is maximum. And what will it be? The number of floors will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So there are a maximum of 7 floors between these two. How many friends are there between cola drinker and yellow bottle owner? This is the cola drinker and this is the yellow bottle owner. There is no friend in between these two. So the correct answer has to be 0. If Vani lives on the 7th floor, so we are saying that Vani is on the 7th floor, okay. What is the minimum number of floors the building must have if rest all friends live on even numbered floors? So we are trying to maximize or we are trying to minimize the total number of floors. We can say that Yogesh, who is at the bottom, what we are told is that Vani is on the 7th floor and everybody else is on an even floor. So we can say that Yogesh is on the 2nd floor, Brijesh is on the 4th floor or 6th floor, doesn't matter. Ram should be above 7 and an even number. So we'll say that this is 8 and this can be 10 because all of them have to be even. So the minimum number of floors will be 10, which is option C. Let me look at the chat and then we'll end the stream. Guys, please do like the stream. This was a good session. And also do let me know in the chat what is the next session that you're looking for. I would say this is an easy to medium level. This is not a extremely easy set, I would say, because these kind of sets can come in the examination. It is just that in the examination you will feel more nervous. You will feel like you will not be able to think of all the clues with the calm that you would normally have when the exam pressure is not involved. But otherwise I would say this is not a trivial set. This is an easy to medium level set. The people in chat, could I ask you how much time it took for you to complete this set in the basic table? Yeah, this was the last set. Before ending the session, I just want to remind you guys of two things. Let me do that, and after that I'll end the session. The first thing I want to tell you is do check out the 30-day plan video that Sayali has made. It is there in our YouTube channel. We just released it yesterday. She gives good tips about what is the best way in which you can use the last 30 days. I was interacting with some students yesterday and many of them asked me the same question. 30 days are left. What is the best way in which I can use it? I felt that Sayali made an excellent video about it where she described all the things that you can do. In that only there is a calendar for the 30-day schedule. Anybody who wants it can download it. It's a good PDF. The second thing I would say is, in general, my advice about what to do in the last 30 days is solve. The more questions you solve, the better you get and the faster you get. So focus mostly on solving questions. If you are looking to solve questions, I already told you, you can definitely Google search Cracku Quant questions or Cracku cat quant questions. If you want, you can add a PDF. You will all go to the same page. Definitely do download it. If you're looking for LRDIs, again I would say the LRDI PDFs are also very good. You just change quant to LRDI and you'll get that. That is the second thing I would tell you. Solve a lot of questions, as many questions as you can find. The third thing is, if you have the Cracku formula book, it is good, revise it regularly. If you don't have the Cracku formula book, just Google search Cracku formula PDF. If you have the link, just bookmark it so that you don't lose it. And go through the formulas regularly. Try to go through at least 10-15 formulas regularly. That will help you quite a lot because you would want to revise all the formulas before the examination comes. These are the things I would say. Definitely do check it out. Thanks a lot guys for tuning in, and in the comments do let us know what is the next session that you want on next Saturday.